What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Aye. And we are back again with another stream, another reaction stream, another Road to Laughtale reaction stream where we will be reacting to volume 2 of Road to Laughtale. And if anybody isn't sure what the Road to Laughtale is, I guess Oda been wanting to give us a little extra information about some of the characters and some of the plot points, right? Some of the plot points of the series, and he does it at the end of some of these chapters, or I guess they're kind of like connected to some of these chapters. Like the last one, I think was connected to chapter 1053, and I think this one is connected to chapter 1000 and I think that's 53 too. I guess they're both 53. I'm not too sure, But yeah. But before we get into that, before we get into the whole Road to Laughtale reaction, first let me start off by saying make sure you guys hit that like button, also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know when I go live, right? So you know when I go live. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and now I have my Discord, or not my Discord, I have my Twitch channel available. It will also be in the description box below as well. So make sure you guys, show love to the Twitch account. Go follow me on Twitch. I'm gonna also start streaming there. You guys could talk to me about One Piece. You guys could talk to me about Naruto, Bleach, whatever. You know what I mean? We could talk about anime. We could talk about video games, Marvel, DC, all that stuff. I like talking about other. There's other stuff I do like talking about than One Piece as well. I love One Piece, but there's other stuff I also like talking about as well. And I think my Twitch channel, my Twitch streams will be an opportunity for you guys to pretty much just chat with me, right? Chat with me about anything, not just One Piece. This channel right here is more dedicated to One Piece, but I will start also involving other animes as well. But the Twitch will be, y'all could talk to me about anything, whatever you guys want to talk about. Y'all can just ask. It doesn't have to relate to any topics or anything, right? So that it's more of a free chat type situation for you guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about. It could be about personal life, whatever. Y'all want advice? Y'all want like to hear my opinion on something? Yeah, that's gonna be what the Twitch is for. But also if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the Discord and we have the Facebook group. I'm actually kind of thinking about changing my Discord instead of it just being exclusively One Piece. I mean, it's already we already kind of talk about other topics outside of One Piece as well, but I want to make it a Discord that's just more about, it's just a community of people who rock with me, right? So that's what the Discord is going to be about, or that's what I'm thinking of changing the Discord, right? Because right now it's kind of exclusively a One Piece Discord that, we could talk about other stuff as well, but I want to make it more welcoming to anybody, right? So definitely, even if you're not a fan of One Piece, join the Discord, right? Even though if you're watching this channel, you're probably a fan of One Piece. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, got my water. Gotta stay hydrated in this weather, man. Gotta stay hydrated. All right. So yesterday we pretty much did volume 1 of the whole Road to Laughtale. We talked about what? I want to say we talked about the Yonko. We talked a little bit about Kaido and Big Mom. Not too much. We talked about rocks. Oh, we talked about Roger. We talked about Goldie Roger. The Road to Laughtale Volume 1 was about a lot of information about Goldie Roger, right? So we learned a lot. We got like a good timeline of Goldie Roger's adventures, which was good because the thing about the story, right? Especially when we talking about like Goldie Roger and a lot of like older characters, right? It's the timeline is a bit confusing on when things happen and what happened before what, right? So I think what I really enjoyed about the Road to Laughtale Volume 1, like the thing I probably enjoyed most was that we got a more clear and defined timeline of a lot of Goldie Rogers' adventure, you know. Yeah, so we got a clear, concise timeline of Goldie Rogers' adventure. But some things, I mean, there was some stuff that wasn't specified. Like there was uh some things that didn't give us an exact time. Like I forgot. Like I think. Hold on, let me try to go back. Maybe I could. Well, I ain't gonna go back. Some they didn't give us. He didn't give us a timeline of everything. There was some stuff that we don't really know when it happened, but everything else I think was pretty well done. Right. We also learned a little bit about, or we also kind of went over more about Rox D. Zebek. Talked about his connection, his possible connection with Blackbeard, because we know Blackbeard's ship is named the Saber of Zebek, right? And so that right there kind of showcases that Blackbeard has some type of influence over Zebek to where he wanted to name his ship after Zebek. And the thing with ships, right? The thing with pirate ships, you would say, well, it's just him naming it. But pirate ships are like, the name of your ship is kind of an important thing. It's kind of a big deal, right? It's kind of a big deal because you're going to be you're going to be on this ship for pretty much your whole time, or at least until the ship is, you have to replace the ship, kind of like what they did with Mary, right? Also, when people talk about you and your crew, they also talk about your ship. So yeah, your ship is kind of a big deal, right? So the name of your ship is going to be a big deal to a pirate, right? So for Blackbeard to name it after Zebek, that means that there had to be some level of influence that Zebek had on Blackbeard's life. But then the question is what is that influence? Like, what is that connection, right? How do Blackbeard like know of this guy who was pretty much buried in history, right? Like the world government did a lot to try to erase this man's existence. You know what I'm saying? So, but what made Blackbeard aware? Like, what kept Zebek's existence alive long, uh, at least in Blackbeard's heart, right? In Blackbeard's heart, what kept it alive to where he was like, yo, I want to be this character, this guy, right? So, you know, it was a little portion where it's kind of like maybe there's some connection between Blackbeard and Zebek. I think there is. I talk about it a lot. So, I could right now beat the dead horse, but I'm not going to do that. But I do talk about Zebek and Blackbeard's possible connection a lot. I even talked about it in yesterday's stream with the Volume 1. So, there's that. We also talked about the poneglyphs. We talked about the poneglyphs too, about the Rio poneglyphs just a little bit. We didn't go too much into the Rio poneglyphs. They're not as important as the road poneglyphs or the load poneglyphs possibly. But, they're there though. They're they do have a level of importance, especially to people who want to learn the history, the real history of the Void Century. So yeah, they do have a bit of importance. But we talked about the road poneglyph or the road poneglyphs, right? Which one thing that the Road to Laughtale Volume 1 did a very good job in. I think it's probably just kind of like with Blackbeard, we learned of Black or Goldie Rogers, not Blackbeard. Goldie Rogers' timeline, right? I think with like the second best thing that the Road to Laughtale, or at least that stuck out to me, that I really liked, was kind of going over the locations of the poneglyphs, the road poneglyphs at that, giving us a clear understanding of where the road poneglyphs were during Goldie Rogers' time and where they are now, right? Like we know during Goldie Rogers' time, there were two poneglyphs on Fishman Island, right? Like one of them was a road poneglyph, the other one was just a normal poneglyph, right? And sometime between then and the current story, that poneglyph was moved, right? That poneglyph was moved. Then we know of Big Mom. Big Mom has a poneglyph. I don't think it said where that location was that she got her poneglyph from, but she had the poneglyph during Roger's time because Roger had to pretty much go in and get a rubbing of the poneglyph from Big Mom, right? Because even Big Mom stated that. Big Mom stated that during Whole Cake Island that, Goldie Roger came in and snuck a copy of the poneglyph. And she was pissed off at that. She was trying to make sure that didn't happen again. And then what was it? She still has it. She also still has it. So then we know of the poneglyph on Zoe. It's still on Zoe. It been in Zoe during Roger's time, and it still is on Zoe, which makes sense because Zunisha is kind of a elusive creature. It's always on the move, so it's not stationary. So finding Zunisha is a task in itself, and so it that keeps it protected almost. The fact that Zunisha is always moving and always mobile, and it's like it's not in one location enough for you to just be able to find it unless you have a Vivri card attached to Zunisha where you could go look for him, right? But yeah, so Zunisha still has that poneglyph. And then the final poneglyph is in Wano, right? It's in Wano. We learned that it was somewhere where it would be easy to get a rubbing from. That was a statement I think it said in the Road to Laughtale. It was located somewhere that would be easy for someone to get a rubbing from and get away. Now what does that mean? To me, that tells me that the poneglyph is somewhere easily, or it was somewhere easily accessible. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was hidden, but if you know where it is, it's easy to get to, So it could still be hidden. That's probably why we haven't seen it yet. It could still be in the same location and hidden, but when you know the location, it's easy to get to and get out of, right? At least that's kind of what I got. But I think maybe Kaido learned where it was and possibly moved it, which is why we have not seen it yet in Wano. You know what I mean? Why nobody went and already got a rubbing from it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Kaido moved it and hid it somewhere. We don't know yet. That's still the mystery. But there is that, We also talked about Zebek yesterday. We talked a lot about Zebek, which is good, I kind of already brought up Zebek. But yeah, that was another great thing, right? Like it's Zebek. So I don't think we really got any major answer. I don't remember. I don't think we got any major like any major reveals on Zebek that we haven't already known. We know that we also or was reminded at least that Zebek the I guess the Rocks pirates fell at they fell on God's Valley during the God's Valley incident. They fell, and that was also the same time where Big Mom gave Kaido that devil fruit that she says, that devil fruit. Now we know the devil fruit, of course, but why? Like the way she said it, it just made it sound to me that there was something with that. I know that the devil fruit is a dragon devil fruit, so it is a special devil fruit to a degree, right? but it how she said it made it sound like it could have been like Zebek's devil fruit. At least to me, right? At least to me, it sounded like it could have been Zebek's devil fruit, or there was something about that devil fruit to where it was uh, like I don't know, it was something special about that devil fruit aside from it being a dragon devil fruit, right? Like maybe it was Zebek's devil fruit before, or maybe the crew was arguing over who should get the devil fruit, and Big Mom just made the executive decision. It was like, I'm gonna give it to Kaido or something. I don't know. I don't know the situation yet. Maybe I'm looking too much. Maybe I'm just looking too much into it, like the wording of how she said it. But yeah, there was that as well. Let me address the chat real quick. My uncle with the sent me a wave, I guess, when the stream started. Shout out to my uncle. And then we have Adam. He says, love yesterday's stream. I have a video about it coming out tonight. Hey, Adam, hey, do you want to, are you interested in joining the stream after I read a Laughtale? It could just be us two, right? Just be, it could just be us, right? Yeah, let me know if you're interested though. Cause I always say if I get Adam on a stream on a Discord call, it has to be solely us two, man. It has to be us two, cause you know, cause you got a lot to say, and I want to give you the chance to say, speak your piece without having to stop you and give somebody else a chance to talk. So I want to give you an opportunity to speak your piece, and if you want to join in this stream, let me know. I'll get you into the Discord. Matter of fact, I'll give you access to it now, but definitely let me know though. Definitely let me know if you want to join it. I'm gonna give you access to it now in case you do want to join. Give me a second, everybody. All right. Yeah, you will have access. I mean, you could join whenever, but you won't be on the stream just yet. All right. Okay. Okay. So yeah, yesterday's this whole the whole road to Laughtale thing. It very interesting. I really like how they're putting a lot of stuff in perspective. I don't really think they're giving us much new information, like any new reveals. It's not like a Vivri card or it's not like a Vivri card or a data book where sometimes Oda kind of or not the Vivri card data books. It's not like a SBS where Oda answers he gives us some reveals, right? Like he tells us some stuff about the story that he doesn't he doesn't give us in the series. So it's not like that where he's dropping like a lot of bombshells, but he is making a lot of stuff that we already know. He's packaging it a lot better, a lot more organized, like the whole timeline of Roger. I love that because I never really, the thing with his timeline, it was always kind of confusing to sit here and put everything in the order and be like, yeah, this happened at this time and this happened at this time. So yeah, it was really well organized and I enjoyed that. Adam says, oh yeah, dude, I can join you reading this one for like an hour or so like yesterday. I'm working on the video, so while talking, so I can take a break then. Okay, I'm gonna go over the road. I'm gonna go over the chapter first, okay? And then after I'm done the chapter, I'll bring you in. I'll let you know when you can join the Discord channel, and you join it, and then I'll eventually join the Discord channel as well. But I did give you permission to join that channel, so you can join whenever you want. But you will be waiting. That's all I'm gonna say. You will be waiting. All right. So let's get into this road to Laughtale. Okay. Where is it? Okay, there it is. There it is. All right. All right. Oh dang! Why is that acting weird? Okay, Road to Laughtale Part 2. So okay, so we get a little cover page. Uh, I'm I'm assuming it's kind of look like a Film Red cover page. Like it look like it might be associated with Film Red, or it might just be associated with Blackbeard and Shanks. Bro, what the? My bad, guys. I'm getting like all these. All right, we got the Road to Laughtale. We see kind of a sketch of Kaido, like a hybrid, like Kaido in his man beast form or hybrid form, whatever you want to call it. Adam says, "Sweet, that works perfectly. Thank you." Yeah, of course, man. Of course. All right, so there's the table of contents, of course. I don't really have to go over that. Okay, so let me. I might have to zoom in a little bit. Just to get like a, yeah, I think that'd be good right there. All right, cool. We in this. Let me exit these ads, man. God dang, bro. All right, so uh, let me do one last thing real quick. All right, cool. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to Okay, cool. Now I did what I wanted to do. All right. All right. Deciphering the future of One Piece. One Piece next, and it says, Kaido and Big Mom have been defeated. How will the world react to this upset? The remaining emperors, the worst generation, the former warlords, the Marines, and the revolutionaries are all caught in this wild storm. Yeah, so so I can actually see the catalyst of this major war being the defeat of Kaido and Big Mom. You know what I'm saying? That I would say probably a mixture of the defeat of the Yonko, the the uh, the abolishment of the Shichibukai, and also the whatever's going on with Sabo. I think those three things are going to be the like all of them combined are going to be what pretty much starts this war, this major war that we're I guess going into soon, in the next couple arcs or so. I don't know how Oda's going to put it together, but I think everything that's been going on in Wano is pretty much going to be the catalyst of this major war. All right, so it says the new generation storms in as a prelude. Why does these ads keep popping up? God dang ads. The new generation storm in as a prelude to the world's collapse. Ooh, those are some strong words. The prelude to the world's collapse. So, to me, this is kind of just Oda confirming that this is kind of just setting up for like all this is setting up for this big war. And then, all right, It says 2 emperors have fallen. New generation. And then it says, will the vanquishers of the emperors vie for control? Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Turn the page to see a breakdown of the new era. Okay. All right, so, okay, it says One Piece deep, a broken balance, the world in chaos. Okay. So at the top of this page, we got the Gorosei, and it says the world's equilibrium cannot be maintained forever. The time has come for a great cleansing. Oh, okay. So we talked a lot about cleansing, right? We talked a lot about cleanses. I did a reaction video to, I forgot who it was. It was definitely somebody on the channel. It was one of the members, one of the subscribers. They pretty much said like I want to say was it I want to say it might have been Athena. It might have been Athena. Could be wrong. Y'all correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I don't remember, but it might have been Athena. But there was a video I did about some great cleansing that was talking about a flood, right? A flood. So yeah, I mean, we also it will relate to the Bible, Noah's Ark, right? The Bible, where there was a flood that, it flooded the earth for like 40 days, and Noah had to build an ark where he put like all the animals on. It was like 2 of every animal, like a male and the female of every animal was on the ship. It flooded like the whole world for like 40 days and 40 nights. And we know, right? We know in Fishman Island, we have the Noah's Ark, right? That was pretty much what Luffy destroyed, like half of it or something. I don't remember how much he destroyed, but he destroyed some of it. So I don't know if it's even going to be operational at this point. I don't even know if it's going to be operational, right? But we don't fully know what that Noah's Ark is for, right? A lot of people think it's for moving fishmen, like when Fishman Island is destroyed by Luffy, Luffy destroying the Red Line and indirectly destroying Fishman Island. We know, like, some people believe that the Noah's Ark is going to be there to transport fishmen to the surface. Now, my pushback would be, can't fishmen swim? Why do they need transported? You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, there's some people who believe that's not what the Ark is for, partially because the fishermen don't need a ship to get to the top of the ocean, right? So why do they need moved on a ship, right? So there's that line of thinking, right? Which to me is reasonable. I think that's a reasonable argument, But if it's not for that, what is it for? What is the Ark for? It has to be for something, But I think, if there is a cleansing, and the cleansing is done by a flood, like let's say it's a cleansing by flood, right? Kind of like in the Bible, it flooded. Then maybe that's what the Ark is for, to save people, to save the land people from getting drowned. I don't know if that ship is big enough to save everybody in the world though. Like that, I don't know if that's possible. All the people and the animals. So I don't know if that's the case either, right? Like that could be your argument as well. And I also kind of have an idea, when you destroy the Red Line, it could potentially cause a flood. So, even if this great cleansing that the Gorosei may be talking about or considering, it may not be done by a flood, but there could still be a flood in the series. You destroy the Red Line, that could cause like tsunamis, and that could like raise the water level and cause flooding. Which that's what the Noah's Ark could be for as well. We got Poggy Biscuit in the building. He said that's a really good point. Why do you think they need Noah? I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of think I kind of do think it's for fishermen, because I feel as though it was heavily implied for that reason. But it's like I'm kind of on the fence, right? Because it is kind of contradictory when you know that fishermen can swim and they don't need a ship to get to the surface. But it's like, what else is it for, right? What else is it for? So I don't know, I don't know. Like my pushback on that argument though about fishermen being able to swim is, you know, maybe the journey from Fishman Island to the surface is a long and dangerous one, right? So maybe that could potentially be a reason why you would need a ship, just so you know some of the fishermen don't get eaten by like some wild sea kings, right? Or just some wild aquatic life, or or it might be a taxing journey from Fishman Island to the surface. So maybe it's kind of like walk. It's like you wouldn't walk from New York to L.A. You would probably rather take a plane, right? Because you can walk. Yeah, anybody could walk from New York to L.A. But it's like, do you want to do that journey? So maybe it's kind of the same thing with Fishman Island and going to the surface. Maybe the surface is so far, it's just a long swim, a long taxing swim, And I know somebody's going to say, well, it's like people done it before. Yeah, I know that, but that doesn't change it doesn't change it being taxing. There's people who you could probably say the same thing from people from walking to New York to LA. There's probably people that done that before, but that don't mean everybody wants to do it. So, I mean, again, I don't know what the NOAA is for exactly, but I think the two best reasons I could think of is transporting fishermen, or maybe there's a flood in the series and it's to save humans from drowning. Those are my two best bets. You know what I'm saying? All right. We got Angel in the building. He says, yo, shout out to Angel. Poggy says, if it could been used to save humans who lived down there in a time where everyone got along, I mean, maybe I guess that could be I don't know. If it was used for them, why is it still down there? You know what I'm saying? Because it would have been used and on the surface. I don't know. Those are answers that but I don't know if I would say is that one, right? But it could be. Angel says Bluff. They don't really imply on who it's for, just that it will be used one certain day. And then he said, Bluff, we've seen little fish children swim to the surface, no problem. I mean, but they never implied that it was going to be for anything else. It's like it's literally at Fishman Island. Like if it was to save humans, I think it would be somewhere on the surface. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it, you got this big ship that's meant for transporting. It's at Fishman Island, and we know that the fishermen are going to leave Fishman Island one day. That's implying right there. if you set kind of a prophecy that fishermen are going to leave Fishman Island one day, and then you got this ship that could take them there right next to the country, it's kind of like it's like if I got a car outside and I'm talking about taking a trip one day, like a couple hours from where I'm at, that car is probably going to be used to on my journey. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of was implied. It was never implied as like somebody said it. Yes, you're right about that. But it is literally at Fishman Island, and we know a lot about the fishermen wanting to go to the surface. You know what I'm saying? So if you just put if you put things together, that's going to be the answer most people get right there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even arguing that that's what it's going to be used for. I'm just saying, it's coming to conclusions. And I get, it that that doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be used for. And I completely agree with that statement. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't at this point in the story, I don't know what else it could be used for. You know what I'm saying? What else could it be used for if not that? You know what I'm saying? What else can it be used for if not that? I already talked about the whole swimming to the surface thing, but yeah, all right, let's get back to reading. Let's get back to the road to Laughtale. Okay, so it says time has come for a great cleansing. Yeah, so I mean, this great cleansing, this the Gorosei speak of, you know, could be a flooding, right? It could be a flooding, and if it is a flooding, maybe that is what the Noah is for. But it could also be, I mean, I don't know what else the cleansing could be. Maybe it could have something to do with the SSG, right? It could maybe the SSG starts eliminating people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this cleansing will be. I think flooding might be the easy one, or like fires or something. Um, but that's one of them things we just gonna have to kind of wait to see. You know, it's one of them things we're gonna have to wait and see. Uh, all right, so it says the Holy Land quakes. The world refuses to remain static. The big scoops coming out of the reverie. Um, Angel said, "We know it's at Fishman Island because they were asked to protect it for a certain day. So it being at Fishman Island doesn't really say anything. But you're right, no point in arguing. Let's wait to the future." All right, so we got three big scoops. I think, or is it just two on this one? I think there's only two scoops on this. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah. There's two. There's three. There's three. My bad. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I didn't see that second one. All right. So, scoop one. Sabo's status. All right. So, um. All right. So it says uproar on day 4 of the reverie. The Revolutionary Army attacked Mary Joa in a gambit to rescue their comrade Kuma, who was enslaved by the celestial dragons. The papers covered the showdown between the revolutionaries and Navy admirals, and they also said something unusual about Sabo. Yeah. Like now, think about it, right? Sabo, the revolutionaries, going to Mary Joa to save Kuma, and then we also have Jory Bonnie, who went to go save Kuma as well. So I don't really think I've seen Jory Bonnie get mentioned enough, right? Like a lot of people talk about what Sabo could have done, right? Um, like we know that maybe he went to maybe he saved Vivi from an assassination attempt, right? Um, and maybe he left with Vivi, but people don't even add. We don't never really talk about Jory Bonnie, right? Because Jory Bonnie and Sabo both went for this. They both had similar goals in mind, going to Mary Joa. You know, they both wanted to save Kuma. So maybe um when everything happened with Sabo, you know, maybe Jory Bonnie also got swept into that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Sabo and Jory Bonnie both, I don't know, got together. You know, they both have similar goal, or they both want to free Kuma. So maybe that right there kind of had them meet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe their goals them having aligned goals. Maybe they eventually bumped heads, right? And so if that is the case, is Jory Bonnie possibly with Sabo, wherever Sabo is? Like if I mean, assuming Sabo didn't get caught, right? Assuming Sabo didn't get caught, did Jory Bonnie possibly help Sabo escape, and possibly the other revolutionaries, or maybe Jory Bonnie went with Vivi and Sabo or something. I don't know. Did they even help Kuma? Did they even succeed with freeing Kuma? Is another word as well, But I don't know, right? Because we do know Jory Bonnie was at Mary Joa, but we don't really know what her status is either up to this point, Because I feel as though if she did free Kuma, she would have possibly been in the newspaper as well, for trying to free a slave of the celestial dragon. Or she could be caught as well. She could possibly be caught. Or maybe her and Sabo helped each other escape. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like maybe her and Sabo, bro. This goddamn page, man. Like hold on. I want to check something, y'all. Like, man, bro. I can't even read this without it constantly. Okay. Do Shonen Jump not have yeah, they don't got it. Cause this site I'm using is annoying right now. It is annoying right now, so I'm trying to find a site that's not gonna keep stopping my like restarting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll just have to manage. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to possibly keep resetting this page. All right. So yeah, so that scoop one, something happened with Sabo. Uh, we know that the revolutionaries went to Mary Joa. We had Morley. I want to say that's name Morley, Karasu, and Lindbergh, right? And I think I'm pretty sure was Bello Betty there. Oh no, Bello Betty was on a different island. I think she was on a different island, fighting a different battle or whatever during Reverie, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there's that. We also know Fujitaro was at Reverie, and Green Bull was also at Reverie as well. All right, so it says everyone that knows Sabo is shocked. Numbers of the Revolutionary Army and familiar faces from his hometown in Gold Kingdom are visibly shaken by the news. Yeah, because we know that we seen D-Dan and I forget her name that worked at that bar that Shanks and his crew was at when they met Luffy. Makina, I think that's her name. Makina, I can't remember her name. But yeah, so obviously we know something happened with Sabo. We don't know yet. I'm personally hoping that it's not like he got captured. I hope he didn't get captured. I don't want to see another Ace retrieval arc. I don't want to see an arc where we gotta now save Sabo from execution. I hope we don't rehash the whole Ace thing. If we do something of a rehashment, I kind of like the idea of Luffy getting captured. Like maybe what if Green Bull captures Luffy, right? What if he captures Luffy and then Sabo has to work with the Straw Hats to go rescue Luffy? You know what I'm saying? Which can ultimately bring about this big war, right? Like maybe Sabo has Vivi, he escaped with Vivi. Maybe Jory Bonnie is with Sabo as well. And now him, the Revolutionaries, the Straw Hats, the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, all the Alliance members, like all the other allies that Luffy has. Now they have to go. They have to go liberate Luffy. I like that idea. If somebody gets captured and there has to be another rescue attempt arc, make it Luffy, bro. Like, to me, that would definitely shake things up. You know, that would shake the story up, giving us a new unpredictable element, even though I can't say it'd be unpredictable because a lot of people speculated it, but it wouldn't be something it wouldn't be a route that we would expect Oda to take. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that. I kind of want us to go that route. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right. So it says the stability of the world is very delicate. The three great powers headquarters, or Navy headquarters, the four emperors, and the seven warlords have always maintained balance. Now that balance has collapsed and the world is hurtling headfirst into the chaotic unknown. I kind of always had an issue with this idea that there are these three, and Adam says I like that Luffy idea too. Yes, yeah, I think it's better. You know, I like that idea better. You know, versus us having to rescue Sabo. But I kind of don't like this concept that this story always has pushed with this three great powers. This three great powers concept, right? Where we got the Marines on one side, you know, in one corner. We have the Yonko in one corner, and then we have the Shichibukai in the other corner. Like, they're three separate entities, right? But it's like, first off, I don't put the Shichibukai on even grounds with the Yonko. Like, just by themselves, I don't think the Shichibukai, like, aside from Mihawk, Mihawk is the only Shichibukai who I think would, you know, like, he could actually affect the balance of the of like a Yonko in another group, right? Because I believe Mihawk to be on par with Yonko, right? I think he's up there with Shanks. You know, I think, you know, they were rivals. We know that. And Shanks, if anything, Shanks was the one who was nerfed, you know, when he lost his arm. And yeah, you could say he got stronger, but I don't see Mihawk getting weaker or staying at that level either. If anything, I could see maybe Shanks past Mihawk, but Mihawk is still, I would say Mihawk is still, he progressed, his strength probably progressed to where he's still able to fight Shanks, you know what I mean, evenly, you know. And if anything, Shanks was the one to be nerfed, so why would Mihawk? You know, if they was fighting, like if they were considered rivals and they were fighting equally, and I do believe they fought equally, because otherwise you wouldn't have people like Whitebeard sitting there saying, "Man, you two had some epic duels." If the fight was one-sided, I don't see it being a rivalry. You know, you don't have one-sided rivalries, you know. You know, they're not rivalries. It's just one guy always wanting to try to beat the other guy, but the other guy just always like, I'll beat you. I'll entertain you, but that's not a rivalry. It's a one-sided rivalry, right? So yeah, I think Mihawk is the only Shichibukai that I think Kuma though. Kuma might, you know, I kind of low-key think Kuma is could potentially be up there as well, you know, because his ability, bro. Come on, Kuma got such a hacks ability, bro. Come on now. But yeah, anyway, but as far as his three powers, right? The Shichibukai are not on equal footing as Yonko. You know, if anything, and they're not even separate from the Marines. They're like literally part of the world government. They're like just an extension. You know, they're like a different branch of the world government. They're literally like the same thing, you know, they're like the same side of the Marine. They're literally on the same team as the Marines. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just two two factions. It's two world powers. It's the Marines and the Yonko. The If anything, the Shichibukai just makes the Marines competitive against the Yonko. That's all it is. But this whole three separate world powers concept, to me, it's stupid. Because when I look at three world powers, I look at three different entities that are their own entities and individual and independent of each other. You know what I'm saying? Shichibukai are not independent from the Marines. They're part of the Marines, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Or they're part of the same. They're under the same system. You know. God damn thing keep messing up my place. All right, so yeah. All right, so this is scoop number 2. Cause this is big news. Oh my goodness. All right, big news. Morgan's mentioned 3 things. Okay. I can't read what that says. Goddamn ads keep jumping in front of me. It says big news. Morgan's mentioned 3 things. The voting results of an attempted murder. What do these clues mean? So a fatality, the voting results, and attempted murder. It's pretty much what we talking about, right? All right, let me exit out of this. Bro, get out of there. Bro, now it's not even letting me. All right, dang, bro. Like, god dang. All right. All right, so scoop number 2. Scoop number 2. Ancient. Yeah, I'm gonna have to zoom in on this. All right. An incident concerning the kingdom of Alabasta. All right. After Vivi bonded with Shirahoshi in the Holy Land, something happened to her home. Even something happened to her home. I don't think that. Even Garp is uneasy. What could have happened to Alabasta? Was it something that happened in Alabasta? I kind of thought it was like something happened to like either Vivi or what's the name? What's the name? Cobra, King Cobra. So I don't know. I don't remember something actually happening in Alabasta. Do y'all remember that? Like, am I tripping? Am I tripping? Because I don't remember something happening in Alabasta. And this is kind of making it sound like something happened in Alabasta and not at the Reverie. You know, so I'm a little confused. Adam says, yep, LOL, I think it's 5 at least. Yeah, I'm 5 what? What are we talking 5? And then Angel says, you mean the Yonko are up there with Mihawk? Yo, I mean, hey, bro, I would not be shocked if Mihawk is actually stronger than Yonko, bro. Like, but I don't know, because Mihawk has never been stated to be like the strongest man in the world or the strongest creature in the world, like Whitebeard and Kaido, right? He was always just considered the strongest swordsman, the greatest swordsman in the world. Never like the like nobody could beat Mihawk, you know. Angel said, yeah, people were crying. Yeah, they were crying, but I figured they were crying from what happened at Reverie and not something happened in Alabasta. Like, because it was always looked at like somebody like Vivi could have died or King Cobra could have died. So yeah, I would think that they would cry for that. But how this what we're reading now is talking. It's making it sound like something happened in the country of Alabasta and not at Revelry. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, I know they were crying. Yeah, we. All right, so then we got scoop number 3, the abolition of the 7 warlord system. Yeah, this is gonna be a big deal right here, man. I'm itching to know what happened because we know Buggy is a Yonko now. Last time we seen Buggy, the world government was after him. He was motivating his crew to fight the world government while he escaped. So, but now he's all of a sudden a Yonko, quote unquote Yonko. Again, I don't consider Buggy an official Yonko for y'all. I know y'all watching this, and y'all could give me all the hate y'all want. I don't care. I don't take what the newspapers say as gospel, because newspapers lie. Look at the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see Big News Morgan being the person who dictates who is Yonko. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can argue with me all y'all want, but y'all argue with y'all moms. I'm gonna just say that. Argue with yourself or your mama or something. Don't argue with me, because argue with your mama. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't take, just because Big News Morgan says it and a lot of unimportant nobodies believe it. I don't see that. I don't look at that as GOAT, or I don't look at that as fact or gospel. All right, so we got Dracula, Mihawk, the GOAT. Then we have Buggy D Clown. Buggy is the original D right there. Then we had Edward Weevil and Boa Hancock. And it says the Marines have been dispatched to apprehend the 7 ex-warlords. The warlords gained their position thanks to their reputation as powerful pirates. So the Navy decided to leave them to their own devices and dedicated many resources to their captures. I don't get it. Like, could they not have just fired them and just let them be? You know what I'm saying? Like I would have at least left Mihawk alone. I wouldn't have went to go bother him for what, right? Like, Mihawk doesn't seem like the type to be doing a bunch of crimes and stuff like most pirates. And Hancock as well, right? Like, Hancock seemed like she'd just be chilling on her island, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess Hancock, because she does leave sometimes, so maybe she does do some pirate type stuff. But, I mean, I guess Mihawk does do stuff, right? I guess he does do he go bother people. Like, we know he went and chased down, what's his name back in the Baratier arc. He went to go chase down, what's his name, man? I can't remember the guy's name. He had that big fleet, and then I want to say Gin was his like second mate or his first mate or something. I forgot that guy's name. God dang, Captain. I forget. Y'all let me know in the chat, man. I don't remember. But yeah. So yeah, we know Mihawk went and chased him down because he was bored. So maybe when Mihawk does get bored, maybe he does go do some go harassing people, you know what I'm saying? Go committing crimes. But Mihawk doesn't seem like the type to just go out doing pirate stuff. He seemed like the type that goes looking for like a challenge. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong. Angel said, I'm not going to argue with because everything we're going to argue is just assumptions. And then Angel said, doesn't Boa and her people raid other islands? Possibly, I guess. I don't know. Um, she does leave, so it's just a matter of where she goes. But I feel like if you got a kingdom and y'all can produce things, like why do you need to raid places? Like raiding other society, like other communities, are usually meant for people who aren't self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? People who need resources on the go. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could grow your own resources, you don't really need to raid other people. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though the Kuja clan, I feel as though they're self-sufficient. Like they have communities, they have commerce and stuff. So I feel like they don't need to do that. So I mean, now I'm not saying they don't do it. They could still do it, but I wouldn't think they need to do it. All right, okay, but anyway. Anyway. Capture. Okay. So moving on, we got an even more pressing crisis. What will become of the world now that two of the emperors are beaten? Okay. Um, Word spreads through the world as quick and shocking as a lightning bolt. My question is, why did the world government? Oh, never mind. It wasn't. It was Big News Morgan. I was about to say, why would the world government leak that two Yonko have been defeated? But I think, Big News Morgan was already on top of that. But it's like, cause like looking at Wano, the world would have never known that. Well, I guess maybe they would have eventually learned, possibly. Uh, Angel says, but yeah, but they are also pirates. That's true. But but Straw Hats are pirates and they don't raid villages or either. You know what I mean? When we're talking about the story of One Piece, Straw Hats don't raid villages. You know what I mean? Law doesn't seem like he raid villages. Uh, I mean, it's been established that being a pirate doesn't, like, at least in One Piece, it's been established that being a pirate doesn't automatically mean that you raid other islands or raid cities and stuff. Um, and especially if you grow your if you're a self sufficient like community, which I assume the Kuja clan are. I don't see them needing to raid other places. Um, and the angel said they are also known for being ruthless. Yeah, they could be ruthless, but that could just be in battle. That doesn't necessarily mean they raid. Look, maybe they do raid. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I don't think they need to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they need to. And them being pirates, especially in One Piece, doesn't mean anything. Cause we've seen plenty of pirates in this series that they're pirates and they don't raid or they don't do pirate stuff. That's honestly kind of why I like Blackbeard, because Blackbeard actually does pirate things compared to a lot of pirates that we've seen in the series. You know. uh He says they don't raid other islands but ships, but it's still the same principle. It's still the same logic. Like if you can grow your own resources, if you don't need to raid other people, you know what I mean? Do they do it? Do they raid ships or in cities? Maybe, probably. I'll even go and say probably. Most likely. Do they need to? I don't think so. I don't think so. Um. Okay. So. Uh. Where was I? And even more present. Okay. So the clash between the new generation and the emperors ended with a shocking upset. The world government conducted clandestine businesses with the isolated nation of Wano in designs to bring the country under their thumb. The unexpected resolution to this conflict has driven the world further into chaos. The five elders in CP0 fretted a lot over the status of Kaido, Big Mom, and Straw Hats. I like how they didn't even mention Kid or Law. They could have said like the Supernova or something, but they just said Straw Hat. they just mentioned Luffy pretty much. Like Kid and Law ain't even important. Kid and Law ain't even important to them. They not even yet they gave Kid and Law the same bounty, but they still treat Luffy as more important. I low key kind of think it's dumb that they gave Kid and Law the same bounty as Luffy, right? When Luffy's more of a threat to them, you still give Kid and Law the same bounty, and you classify them as Luffy's underlings. It doesn't make much sense to me. Angel says, yeah, but I just looked up and they do attack other ships. But you right. You wonder why they do attack other ships. I mean, like it is what it is, I guess. You know. I mean, maybe they could be taking like money, I guess. You know, you can't grow money. You know, but even then, like if you're a self-sufficient island, what do you need with money? Or what do you need with like external money, you know? Especially if you're like a self-sufficient island that's also closed off from other, like, you know, you're closed off from like the rest of the world. It's like, why do you need the rest of the world's money? You know, it just doesn't make much sense to me. All right, so One Piece deep, the remaining emperor's Blackbeard and red hair. With two emperors down, everyone is curious about the two who remain. What do these polar opposites have in mind during the turn? I feel like everybody's acting like they're dead. Like, I mean, they could be dead, I guess, but I doubt Oda kills Kaido and Big Mom off. I doubt that. I don't think they're dead. You know, if they're dead, okay, I get it. You know, but if they're not dead, they're gonna come back and fight for their position again. They're going to come back and defend their position. Like it's not like they're gone forever out the story. I mean, they could be. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe if they're dead, I guess they would be going out the story. But I don't think they're going to be dead. I think people are just counting them out like they're just going to not exist in this story no more. But I mean, I guess that could be the case. I don't know. Angel says, but the Gorosei said they couldn't hide the fact that they were taken down. Well, of course they couldn't hide the fact. Big News Morgan's is going to. Big News Morgan been putting that information out there. All right, so with two emperors down, everyone is curious about the two who remain. What do these polar opposites have in hand during this turbulent era? Are these two pirates looking to make more chaos? We have red-haired pirates, Chief Red-haired Shanks. And then we have Blackbeard pirates, Blackbeard, Marshall DT. Well, I wonder why they didn't call him Admiral. Because I think that's like his name. He's the like Blackbeard doesn't consider himself the captain. They call him the admiral of the Blackbeard pirates. So I wonder why they gave Red Hair Shanks chief, right? Chief Red Hair Shanks, but they couldn't say Admiral Marshall D. Teach. I mean, I'm splitting hairs right now, and I get it, but you know, I'm just saying. They could have gave him. They could have put some respect on Blackbeard's name. That's all I'm saying. All right. On Blackbeard's side, we know he has the Titanic captains behind Blackbeard. We have second ship, or we have first ship helmsman, first ship captain and helmsman, champion Jesus Burgess. Then we have the second ship captain, Shiru of the Rain. I kind of missed that little thing above them. It says a sinister band largely composed of heinous convicts. Not only that, their fighting capabilities have been enhanced by stolen devil fruit. All right, so back to this. We have the third ship captain, sniper, Sonic Van Auger, and that's gonna be Luffy. That's gonna be Usopp's fight right there. So okay, so I think I'm gonna make a quick matchup for all the Straw Hats, right? But let me finish, you know, with this list of the Blackbeard Pirates. We got third ship captain sniper, Supersonic Van Auger. Fourth ship captain Corrupt King Avelo Perazzo. Fifth ship captain navigator Demonic Sheriff Lafatite. Sixth ship captain Maiden Hunter Katarina Divine. Seventh ship captain the colossal battleship San Juan Wolf. Eighth ship captain heavy drinker Vasco Shot. And then we have the ninth ship captain Dr. Grim Reaper Doc Q. And then we have the 10th ship captain, who is still to this day unknown. Shanks and Blackbeard, true pirates. All right, so I kind of want to use this list to kind of see what I kind of give like a off the cuff Straw Hat Blackbeard matchup. All right, it's just off the cuff, so this ain't gonna be what I think like set in stone. At least it's not. It's just gonna be me just kind of matching a little quick round, right? So all right, God, oh my God, this website's pissing me off. All right. Champion Jesus Burgess, I think, is going to be fighting Sanji. I think Jesus Burgess will fight Sanji. I think Shiru of the Rain will be fighting Zoro. You know, and the reason why I say that is because I think like Sanji, I think Burgess is probably the like aside from maybe Blackbeard, I think Burgess is probably the best hand-to-hand combatant on the Blackbeard Pirates. I think like the best hand-to-hand. I think Sanji is the best hand-to-hand combatant in the Straw Hats, right? Aside from Luffy. Then we talk about Shiru. We know Shiru is a swordsman. He's probably the best swordsman in the Blackbeard Pirates. Just like Zoro's the best swordsman in the Straw Hats. Okay, those two I think are definitely the case. Also, I think the sniper Van Auger will be Usopp's matchup. The battle of two snipers, baby. The battle of the two best snipers in the crew. I think it's just written in the stars at that. I think to me, that's probably I feel as though the matchups that I'm most confident about are going to be Luffy Blackbeard, unless Blackbeard come to find out he's really he's going to be the 10th Titanic captain and Zebek comes back and Zebek be the guy that Luffy faced. So maybe, but I think as of now I will probably be confidently say Blackbeard and Luffy, right? I already said Sanji and Burgess because, you know, they're like the best hand-to-hand fighters of their crews, most likely, right? Aside from the captain. Shiru, swordsman, the best swordsman, probably most likely best swordsman in his crew. I think Shiru is kind of like probably the second strongest in the crew of Blackbeard's crew. I think Zoro's the second strongest in his crew. Uh, Van Auger, I said, sniper action. When we look at the corrupt king of Valo Perazo, I would probably give him Jinbei. You know, I think Jinbei is one of the four strongest. I think he's like the fourth strongest in the Straw Hats, right? Possibly somewhere in between Zoro and Sanji. Possibly, I'm not. I'm gonna give him fourth strongest as of now. I'm gonna give him fourth strongest. I think Avalo Perazo is probably the strongest after Blackbeard, Burgess, and Shiru. Okay, so those are the most confident matchups I feel, and I wouldn't say Perazo is in the confident section either. That I'm a little iffy with him, right? I would probably say Lafatique. Now the rest of these, I'm not that confident in these. I'm gonna just make these real quick. I would say Lafatique. If Oda wants to go to Navigator versus Navigator route, he might be Nami's fight, or Brook, not Nami or Brook, Nami because it's a Navigator thing, Brook because I don't know, he just has a similar build to Brook. He kind of has I think he has like a cane that kind of like is a sword as well, kind of like Brook. He just has a lot of similarities to Brook to me, so I kind of see him fighting Brook. Not confident in that. I wouldn't bet money on that. Just saying, Katarina Divine, I feel as though could potentially go to somebody like Robin or Yamato if Yamato does join the crew. But I'm gonna go with Robin because we don't know if Yamato is joining the crew just yet. San Juan Wolf, I think might go to Frankie because San Juan Wolf is a big dude, right? And he's probably super durable and strong. So I think somebody like Frankie, like Shogun Frankie, or if Frankie pulls out like a new, even bigger mech, right? Like if like Frankie pulls out a bigger mech to fight San Juan Wolf, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Cause San Juan Wolf is pretty big. I don't know who I see fighting San Juan Wolf other than really Frankie or Jinbei, Vasco shot. Vasco shot. Maybe Frankie, maybe Jinbei, maybe Brook. I don't know. Vasco shot's hard to tell. That's that's hard. Grim Reaper .Q. I feel a little confident to say that might be choppers. Vasco shot could be choppers, but I would probably say Grim Reaper. Two doctors fighting each other, and maybe he uses like some poison. And you know how Chopper don't like people who use medicine for bad stuff. So I could see that being Chopper's fight for that, right? The 10th Titanic captain, I don't know. I have to figure out who that is first before I can give any guesses. All right. Adam said, I don't know what that one. When as a slingshot faces a gun, the slingshot breaks. All the more reason to why that's going to be a matchup because it's going to be Usopp he's going to have to overcome being a better sniper with somebody who uses a gun. So if anything, you just give it even you just giving me even more reason because then it's just going to make it even harder fight for Usopp, which that's kind of how these fights work. When you going up the ladder, the fights get harder to where it's like now you fighting people that you gotta overcome, and it's not so easy to beat them. So yeah, like I don't. Yeah, two snipe. Come on, bro. It's like written. It's literally written. It's literally been written since Laughtale. When I think it was Laughtale. When Van Auger killed like a bird from so far, and then Usopp was the one to kind of have to take a notice to that. Like Usopp had to call that out, bruh. It's written. Like you can't tell me that they not gonna fight. You cannot tell me you got another sniper in the series. The only other sniper that we really see, who's part of the crew that's going to be like the rivals of the Straw Hats. The only other sniper is not fighting Usopp. Really, 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 Adam. We're really saying I don't know to this. Really, this is the hill you want to die on, Adam. It really. He says San Juan, I could see a transform chopper fighting. Nah, I think Doc Q. That to me, that's just too much like the Usopp situation. Usopp going to see a guy who uses medicine in a bad way, in a negative light, and Chopper is going to get pissed off at that and want to fight him. Bro, like Chopper's character, his personality just says that he's going to want to have to fight Doc Q, because we know how Doc Q is. He tried to poison Luffy when he gave him them apples, and Luffy luckily took a non-poison one. So we know he uses medicine for bad. You know what I'm saying? Just like Usopp, you're not gonna convince me that it's not gonna be Chopper versus Doc Q. Even though I do see where you're going with that idea of him fighting San Juan in his monster point form or whatever. But I think, to me, that's the only thing you could come up with for Chopper to fight San Juan Wolf, is the fact he'll fight him in his monster point situation. I could think of a story embedded reason why he would fight Doc Q. You know what I mean? Like, I could see the story's telling me why Chopper fights Doc Q. Because he's a doctor that doesn't use medicine the correct way. You know, and we seen even with Queen, right? Queen's not even a doctor, and it pissed Chopper off that he'll be using science for bad. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine a guy who considers himself a doctor using science for bad. Come on, bro. Come on. Versus just him fighting San Juan just for the purpose of fighting in Monster Point. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just kind of, you're not going to sell me on that one either. You know, even though I kind of, if Doc Q didn't exist, I'll definitely agree with you though. Adam says, I agree. I think chapter 1 spelled out that we don't play with guns, but who knows? Bro, like, just imagine, like, when Usopp sits here and say he beat a sniper that uses a sniper rifle with a slingshot, when he beats a sniper with a sniper rifle with a slingshot, bro, that cements Usopp, bro. That cements Usopp as the best sniper in the world. The Sniper King. The Sniper King. Say it with me, guys. The Sniper King. Just saying, baby. Just saying, bro. Just saying. All right. Let's continue to the Shanks side, right? Or hold on, I didn't finish the Blackbeard side. It said Blackbeard has already amassed great power as an emperor, but his appetite knows no bounds. He keeps pushing ahead, constantly aiming for the top. And then said his mocking laugh echoes through an uncertain age. Teach seems to get a real kick out of the chaotic news stories. Could all these big scale pirate feuds be a part of some elaborate scheme? And then it says he set sail from Folaled. What could this ambitious man be after? He left his base after reading what happened. Following reverie, he seems to have his eyes set on something. Does he seem to capitalize on this opportunity to seize what he desires? Yeah, Yeah, we don't know what Blackbeard's after, man, but it's definitely one of the mysteries that has me most intrigued, right? Um, man, like I got so many speculations, but it's hard, I can't pin down which one I think is most likely happening. You know, I thought he could have been after Black or Kaido's devil fruit. It depends if Kaido comes back in the story and how he comes back in the story, and if Blackbeard is going to Wano. So that's a lot of variables that have to happen, right? Could be after a poneglyph, could be after the world government's treasure. You know what I'm saying? He could be after a devil fruit, maybe a devil fruit that we're not aware of. Bro, let me know in the comment section what you guys think Blackbeard is after. Let me know. Y'all can let me in the chat. Let me know in the chat too. But if you're watching this later, if you're not watching this live, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think Blackbeard is after? Adam says, I'm crazy. I think Chopper is that being Frankenstein monster and all. He is the strange science. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I would say he could go up against like Vasco Shot or something, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe Pizarro or something, you know? Or like, and it also depends on who's the 10th Titanic captain. That might change my mind in some ways. All right, but let's continue. Let's go to the Shanks side of this page. All right. It says a dormant lion makes quiet moves to maintain the world's balance. While he spends most of his time in the New World as an observer, the five elders have noted that he can be threatening if pushed. When this man takes action, the ripples spread across the globe. Says attending a wedding ceremony. He appeared to have attended a wedding on a desolate island with his crew performing a benediction. When was this? Somebody in the comment or the chat, let me know when Shanks attended this weapon, because it's something I must have missed, right? It's something I must have missed. Says a face-to-face meeting with the elders at Marijoa. Why is he allowed to have an audience with the five elders? Is really a man of mystery. Yeah, man, these are some good questions. Why is Shanks able to have a audience with them? It could be his. I could say it could be his. The threat he poses, right? Like, let's say if they didn't give him an audience, maybe he just forces his way in there anyway and forces them to have audience. Maybe, it's kind of like one of them situations, like you don't really say no to someone who can, like if there's a guy who asks you, who seeks an audience with you, and he is a threatening presence, you don't just say no to him, right? It could be that, or it could be more to it. Maybe he has a relationship with him, where they're open. Like, I kind of see Shanks as this guy he's the voice of reasoning. So it's like, why piss off the voice of reasoning, right? Like, this guy, you got a guy who's an enemy, but can be reasonable with you. You know what I'm saying? So if he can be reasonable, why would you do something that's going to make him an enemy? You know what I mean? It's like if there's a guy who carries guns and he says, hey, I want to talk to you, he's not the type of person you say no to. You know what I mean? Especially if he's quick to use that gun. You know what I mean? If he's quick to use that gun, you might not want to say no to him. You might just want to give the man a chance to talk. Especially if you can't stop him from, saying his piece when he pulls out that gun. You might as well just give him his audience, right? Adam says, I talk about this in my second video, LOL, the Bink Saki one. Let me reload this. All right, so says red hair. It says red hair's interaction. God, man, this thing is pissing me off, bro. This site, the other site I was using, I couldn't. It was acting ridiculous as well. Red hair's interactions with other dangerous outlaws. He is most familiar to us due to his connection to Luffy, but he's also feared and targeted as a great pirate. Uh, Running with the Kid Pirates. Kid's daring challenge turned into a baptism by fire that cost him an arm and a leg, almost literally. Right? Hey, bro, kid was boxing up, man. You're not Luffy, bro. Only Luffy could box up. Only Luffy could box up and come out of it with a victory. They says trespassing on Red Hair's turf. Not long after the formation of the Grand Fleet, Bartolomeo recklessly entered Shanks' territory. It's hard to say whether he's aware of Luffy's bond with Shanks. Yeah, it is kind of wild that Shanks would or Bartolomeo would start messing with somebody Luffy considers a friend, especially like bro, you should know this. You like he researches Luffy, but you did. I mean, I guess it would. Maybe it's not common knowledge that Shanks and Luffy are cool, but I would think maybe you would know possibly. Then it says the scar above his left eye ties his fate to Blackbeard's. Their fate seems to be tied together as the trio go back to their days as apprentices, and it was Teach who scared Shanks. I like how I said it scared Shanks. Hey, this came from Oda. Oda said this, y'all, that Teach scared Shanks. So everybody who be acting like Shanks be scaring everybody, hey, Teach is the one scaring Shanks. And then it says, will that scar continue to ache? And then we see Shanks. It says, what consequences will this unusual relationship have on the world? Oh, I think there will be some consequences. Possibly Shanks dying type. Possibly. All right, now we talking about swords. Now, okay, now we're talking about swords. I'm always down to talk about some swords, right? I'm always down to talk some swords. All right, so it says One Piece data, sword grades. Let's explore the names and grades of every blade introduced in the series of up through chapter 1053. All right. So right here, it's a little panel. It says name blades among the countless weapons, swords, spears, etc. In the world, there are the ones forged by celebrated masters of the art. The 12 supreme Wazimono, the 21 excellent Wazimono, the 50 fine Wazimono. All right, so let's look at the 12 supreme Wazimono blades. So one, we got the Mukura Guma Giri, which is Edward Newgate's. Pretty much his spear, right? That I think that's what you call it. It's like a spear. It's like a spear with kind of a sword type blade, but a big sword type blade. It says this is Masiwada's extraordinary durability allowed Whitebeard to channel his full power through it. And then we have Ace, Goldie Rogers sword. Rogers, so this kind of kills the idea that Shanks has. I remember there was a theory about Shanks having Goldie Rogers sword, but Shanks' sword is called the Griffith. I think it's like the Griffith. If I correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I think Shanks' sword is called the Griffith. or the Griffin or something like that. Roger's constant companion during what was that? 45 years of adventuring. I want to say 45. I can't really read that. It's the number is so small. So it says I think it says 45 years. I'm not too sure. 45 years of adventuring. We went on to give its name to his own son. Yeah, man. So Roger named his son after his sword. He must have really loved that sword, or must have really loved that name, one or the other. You know what I mean? But if you think about it, right? If you kind of think about it, like just think about it. If you guys are familiar with card games, or not card games, but like fighting, right? It's this saying like somebody has their ace in the hole, which is like they have an attack that they don't really use unless it's like they have to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a secret attack that people don't like using, because it's like, I don't want to give this secret attack away. So when I need to use it, I can shock my enemy and they will not be expecting it. That's pretty much what your ace in the hole is. And when you look at it from that perspective, Ace was Roger's ace in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Because he believed that like Ace was going to be Joy Boy and continue that legacy. He knew that he couldn't accomplish the said goal, like what Joy Boy wanted done. He couldn't accomplish that because he was going to die. So his son was his ace in the hole for accomplishing Joy Boy's ultimate goal. You know what I'm saying? So the name Ace is very fitting, in my opinion, when you kind of look at it from that situation. Adam says, "Are you familiar with old monster movies?" It depends on what old monster movies you're talking about. Are you talking like Friday the 13th, Nightmare of Elm Street? Yeah. Are you talking like Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead or whatever? Yeah, I'm familiar with those. Exorcist, all those. I would say I am pretty familiar with them. All right, back to where we was, right? Back to where we was. All right, so now we're going down. Let's talk this Mihawk, right? We got Dracula, Mihawk, we got Yoru. We got Yoru. Um and we're still talking 12 Supreme Wazimono blades, because Euro is definitely one of them. And it says, black blades are the most elite swords in existence. This particular one is renowned as the world's strongest. It's capable of dispatching challengers with brutality and finesse. Well, that's such a beautiful blade, man. That's such a beautiful sword, bro. Like, I mean, it's impractical. It seems very impractical, even though I guess it seemed like it could be light. So it's like swinging it around, especially if you're a strong guy like Mihawk. Swinging around is probably like easy work, but it's a beautiful blade, man. I love that sword, bro. I love that sword. I want like a real one. I want like a one that could actually like cut a man. You know, not look. I'm not trying to do. I ain't trying to go out killing people. That's not. I just want one though. I just want a real one. Adam says, "I'm talking universal monsters from 30s and 50s. You mean like Godzilla, like the Koju, or the I think they're Koju, like Godzilla, Gamor, I forget the other Godzilla enemies, like King Kong, like them type." All right, so we get like a little box for Katetsu. He says, or about Katetsu One. Katetsu One. Oh no, I guess Katetsu One is also a the 12 Supreme Wazimano blade. That's that's the Katetsu that people, a lot of speculations is that that's the one that the Gorosei member has, the Gandhi looking one, right? Even though I think there's another historical figure that fits better than Gandhi for that specific guy, but you know, a lot of people compare him to Gandhi. Uh, but yeah, the Katetsu one, we don't know where that is, and it says rumors about the cursed Katetsu series are quite prominent, but its location is unknown. Yes, sir, it is. All right, now we move into the 21 excellent Wazimono blades. We got the Wado Ichimonji, which is Zoro's most coveted blade, I would assume, that he got from Kuina. It's the white one. It's very beautiful. I love the Wado Ichimonji. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it gets a lot of love, but I like it, man. You know. All right, we see Kuina 2's Ronor Zoro, the sword that embodies the oath between Zoro and Kuina, a masterpiece created by Shimotsuki Kozabura, swordsmith of Wano. Yes, sir. And then we have the Ame no Hibakiri. The Ame ni no Hibakiri, right? And this was one of Kosuke Odin's sword. This was like the white one that he passed down to Kosuke Momonosuke, right? And then we have Inma, which is the other blade of Kosuke Odin. He passed it to Kosuke Hiyori, who later would pass it to Roronoa Zoro in exchange for Shishui, for keeping Shishui in Wano. Speaking of Shishui, next we have Shishui, which is indeed a black blade and a cursed blade at that. This was Shimotsuki Ryuma's sword, right? Shimotsuki, which Ryuma is indeed a Shimotsuki. So Zombie Ryuma passed down this sword to Zoro back in Thriller Bark when after Zoro beat the zombie Ryuma. And then Zoro pretty much, he didn't give it to Wano or what was that monk's name? Animoro or Gukimaro. He took it from Zoro, and then Zoro just kind of allowed it to leave his possession in exchange for Inma. You know, we don't know if Zoro's ever getting Shishui back at this point. I guess it was pointed out that Zoro will have Inma in the new One Piece Red movie. So if that's any indication to if it's canon, if this new Red movie is canon and this is any indication of the future, then Zoro is definitely keeping Enma. All right. Then we have Kitetsu 2, which is it's the sword that Tenguyama Hitetsu had. We know the real identity of Tenguyama Hitetsu, but that's not what we're talking about today, right? He was holding on to it, and then Luffy ends up taking it, running off with it, and we never really seen it since. But I think somehow it gets back to Tenguyama possession. So there's that. All right. I see it says it is said a sword chooses its wielder. Blade and blade master always seem to find their way to each other, even in the most unlikely circumstances. So you could kind of say that Inma, when and kind of going off of this, right? Kind of going off of this, that kind of going off of that logic, that principle. You could probably say that Shishui just kind of found its way back to Wano, right? Like maybe Shishui wanted to go back to Wano, so he found Zoro at Thriller Bark. Zoro ends up taking him back to Wano, and Shishui is pretty much back at home in Wano. So it's kind of like maybe Shishui was just trying to go back home to Wano in the first place, you know, to fulfill that whole protection thing that they got going on, right? And then maybe Enma has been looking for Zoro. When you talk about swords finding their owner, their wielder, you know, maybe Shishui, you know, wanted to just stay in Wano, right? Because it's new. Maybe it knew that its purpose was being in Wano, and Enma's purpose was to go with Zoro. All right, so now we talk about the 50 fine Wazimono blades. All right, so first we got the Yuba Shiri blade, right? This was I think this was that cursed blade, or nah. This wasn't cursed. What does that say? An heirloom of the arms dealer, Ippon Ipponetsu, or whatever his name is. He decided to entrust his treasure to Zoro after their encounter. He said the eyes of a true swordsman. So yeah, that was that other sword that Zoro got there at that shop, right? Then we have Kashu, which is Tashigi's blade. It is a name blade. Right? And what was that, Shiguri or whatever? I don't know if so. There's Shiguri, I guess. I don't remember what that blade is. Then we got Katetsu 3, which I think Katetsu 3 was that other blade that Zoro found at that shop, and it was the cursed one. So it's a cursed sword that brings misfortune to its wielder. Zoro pitted his luck against the curse and earned its allegiance. So yeah, I think when Zoro did that, right, and he ended up getting Katetsu, I think that guy who owned the shop, he ended up giving them Yubashiri as well, you know. All right, now we move on to the ungraded swords. We got Kikoku, which is Law Sword. I like Law Sword, man. I ain't gonna lie. I like Law Sword. It's a very beautiful sword in my opinion. I like those. I forget what kind of swords they're called. They're like Yabinagas or something like that. Like let me look that up. I'm gonna search Law's what is it called? It's called Kikoku. I think it's like a Yabanaga sword or something like that, right? A Yabanagi or Yoranagi. I think that's what's called, Yoranagi. There's a larger katana. That's no katana, man. It says it's a larger katana. That's like a I'm gonna look up long Japanese swords. Matter of fact, let's look it up on here. Long Japanese swords. All right, so Japanese swords. I know we kind of taking we're kind of taking a. So right here it says a Tachi, right? Tachi. I don't think that's necessarily the sword I'm looking for. maybe it is Itachi. All right, you got the Itachi, or it's a Kodachi. I think. Oh no. What am I talking about? I thought it was. So I think it's either Odachi or a what did it say on this one? It says it's a Kikoku meaning type. It's an Odachi. Yeah, so it's an Odachi. This is the type of sword Law has. It's an Odachi. I don't know why I say it Nabanaki. I know it's something like I forgot the words, but yeah, he has an Odachi, which is like a very long. I think that same sword that one Gorosei member has. I think his is an Odachi as well. I think his is an Odachi as well. Man, we sitting here looking up swords, man. But it has like that long handle, and it's like a super long sword with a long handle. That's kind of like what Law got. Like his handle's pretty. Um, it's a little. I think it's a little longer than most swords as well. You know, maybe not the handle, not so much. But okay. Anyway, so but I thought Law's sword. I thought the Kikaku was a graded sword. I thought it was at least in the 50 fine Wazamono at very least. Well, honestly, I thought it was in the 21 excellent Wazimanos. Guess I was wrong. I guess I was wrong. Yeah, okay. Back to this. Then we have the Hasakai, which is Kaido's club. Um, an incredibly hard club able to withstand the awesome might of being coated with Kaido's Conqueror's Haki. I like how Oda kind of he says he confirmed that you coat weapons with Conqueror's Haki as well. Even though we kind of knew that already, but it's nice to really see it confirmed. Then we got the Sukasan and Kakusan, which is Kinemon sword, and then we got the Su Shibai, which is Kanjuro sword. That paint looking one. I wouldn't even classify that as a sword though. It's just a paintbrush. It's like a sword. It's like a sword shaped paintbrush. All right, and then we got a list of it's. All right, so we got the cat claws from Kuro, Captain Kuro back in East Blue. We got it's a lot. I'm not gonna name all these. I'm not gonna name. I don't feel like having to tilt my head to read it. That's weird. But yeah. So we got that, and then we got unknown Rayleigh's and Vista swords, Isho, Fujitaro sword, etc. These are unknown names. We don't got names from. Many named blades haven't been identified yet, including the ones used by Dark King Rayleigh and Admiral Fujitara. So yeah, there's that. And it says, can any sword become a black blade? Good question. Good question. Many questions still remain unanswered when it comes to blades like Yoru and Shishui. Is Haki alone really enough? Dang, man, I thought Oda was gonna give us that answer, but he don't like giving answers, man. God dang Oda. God dang Oda. All right, so we see kind of some concept art for Kaido. Um, we see the man beast form, the dragon form. There's one concept form where it says his hybrid form went through many different designs. I kind of like that. I kind of like hybrid long neck Kaido, but I'm cool with what we got though. But I kind of think the long neck would have been a little dope, you know. Especially him being the dragon, and they always got them long necks. So next we get concept versions of the All Stars, the three pillars supporting Kaido. We get King. You know, still look all the same. Don't seem like we had too many variations. We got Queen using lasers. And then we got Jack. All right. The All Stars were going to be called the face cards. It would have made sense, kind of with the with the whole card game with Kaido's crew. It could have been called like the Wild Cards or something. You know what I'm saying? uh, the names of the All Star Jack, Queen, and King are all clearly deprived from playing cards. But did you know that their unit was initially going to be called the Face Cards? I didn't know that. And now I kind of skipped some of this text. Let me kind of read over these texts real quick, because I didn't realize some of the information was important. All right. So it says we finally got to see Kaido's go-to hybrid form in the clash with Luffy in the game. You can almost hear his confident laugh as you gaze upon his mighty frame. And then it says, notice how these abandoned designs focus more on his dragonic features from the neck up. It seems like this Kaido favors his dragon talons, for battle over his patented war club. Bro, I kind of think that could have like I kind of would have been fine with that. Like him not like kind of in this form, maybe possibly abandoning his club because he has the claws, sharp claws, especially against somebody like Luffy, right? Like I would have think that would have been a better decision to fight with a sharp weapon versus a club weapon. Cause I would still go far to say Luffy is probably still weak to blades, especially if the blade has like Conqueror's Haki and Armament Haki, which will bypass his Haki protection. You know, you bypass the protection of Haki, and then you still got blades. They should still do damage to Luffy's body. Versus blunt, like Luffy's body is naturally resistant against blunt force. So yes, even with blunt force, you could bypass the his ability, but I would think his body still kind of has some level of resistance against blunt force. And then we got King. It says this man who swore his allegiance to Kaido. Here we can see more of the face beneath King's mask. Apparently, some early designs were more boisterous and willing to dish out trash talk, while other sketches show an even more stoic version of the character. I kind of like Stoic King. I like Stoic King, you know, because I feel as though it's always kind of hard what he's thinking. Like if like a lot of time when we see Zoro fighting King, it's hard to tell if Zoro was doing any damage in some situations because King never really showed. He never really expressed any pain or anything. Well, I mean, he did have the mask, but for the most part, at least. All right, so now we got the Toby Ropo designs. Shredded more light on Quirky Flying 6. Each member of the unique group ate an ancient zone fruit. These concept notes are also jam-packed with interesting tidbits. All right, so we see page 1. All right, Black Maria. And it says Black Maria was originally going to become the dinosaur with the most unique spine in nature, the Stegosaurus. That's interesting. Learn something new, right? Learn something new. I'm surprised this don't talk about like Black Maria's transformation, like her force transformation. And that said, Alti was originally envisioned as a genderless, almost scarecrow-like character called Jirai or something, with a tremendous change. Yeah, I like Alti. I kind of glad she got what she got. I'm kind of glad she got. They settled on the devil fruit they gave her. Scarecrow kind of remind me too much of Hawkins, and unless they was going to change Hawkins' whole thing, I'm glad she didn't get Scarecrow. Then we got Who's Who, and then it said Who's Who was once Baguel, Bao Guel, kind of like Bao Wan almost. Uh, protection, practitioner of two sword style. Okay, and then we got Sasaki. Sasaki was going to be named Pharaoh instead, but it seems like his Triceratop power was already set. Was he going to be a younger character? All right. Okay. We can roommate in the shower saying. All right, so next we got I thought we was pretty much done with the. All right, so the last thing we got was still making waves. Wano Big Mom's new wardrobe. So we get like some designs of her wardrobe, whatever. Big Mom proved to be one of the arc's most threatening adversaries. When she joined forces with Kaido, her Wano design is a total change of pace from Kaido's brutish build. It intentionally contrasts her comical and deadly aspects, making her even more unnerving. And it says her deep ties to Kaido. Kaido and Big Mom were both members of the Rocks Pirates. What happened to them on the day that their old crew collapsed? Perhaps there's a hint in the concept art. Uh, I don't know if there's a hint. Y'all see any hints of Kaido and Big Mom's what happened to them back in the day? Because I don't. So yeah. Anyway, hey Adam, if you're still in the chat, I would advise to go join the Discord. I will be bringing in Adam as today's guest. It will be kind of an individual thing with us too. If he's still available, I don't know. I don't even know if he's still in the stream, but I'll give him like a minute to because if he's not in the stream, then um, yeah, I don't know if he's in the stream though. Adam, let me know if you are in the stream, or are or let me see if you're not on the channel. Yeah, I don't see him. I'm gonna give him a few minutes. If he don't, then I don't know. I guess he's not gonna make it. Uh, you don't need an invite. I gave you permission. Just join the channel. It's the YouTube one. It's the voice chat. Just join the voice chat. YouTube voice chat. You should have permission. It's in the voice chat area. You have the permission though. Let me give him an invite. I don't know why he's having problems finding it. All right, so y'all, we about to bring in Adam. He he okay, yeah, he is in the chat. So I'm gonna bring him in. We're going to we're going to chat with him. So, chat with him for a little bit, get some of his thoughts. I want to get some of his thoughts on this road to Laughtale. What stuck out with him the most. and we're trying to keep this short because again, this we're sitting on 2 hours, so I don't want to, you know, I don't want to like try to have like a 5 hour stream today. I'm not trying to have like a 5 hour stream today. So yeah, let's get in there with him. All right, let me put my headphones on. Can you hear me, Adam? I don't hear you, so give me 1 second. I think my I don't know why I can't hear nothing in my let me
Can you hear me all right?
I hear you now. It wasn't you, it was me. It wasn't you. But I'm getting like a echo.
I cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Hold on. Can you hear me?
My microphone mute. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Sound.
I'm assuming he can't. I can hear
Okay,
you.
can you hear me now?
I've been able to hear you this whole time. I mean, I wasn't at first because
Mute.
my connection was. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Is it like a delay with you? So many.
Okay, I can't hear you, but can you hear me?
I hear you, but hold on, everybody in the chat. I don't want y'all to have to keep.
For whatever reason to do that, and I'm real bad with computers.
That's fine. That's fine. Long as you can hear me, long as I can hear you, we are good. And I think the people should be here able to hear you because I see you. When you talk, I'm getting a signal, so they should be able to hear you. But if anybody can't hear him in the chat, just say something. Give me a one or give me a one if you can't hear him in the chat. If not, I'm gonna just assume that they hear you. All right, man. So we got Road to Laughtale, Volume 2, as we see.
Totally.
So I wanna get your takes on it. What's up? Like, what did you? Hold on. Let me. All right. So what's your thoughts on it? Like, what stuck out the most?
Dude, I really liked pretty much everything that you touched on. I have not really read these super in depthly until your stream thing. So it's they're teaching me things or whatever. But with all of these, I really I think they're all half truths. I mean, even that cover right now, the newest one where it's half Blackbeard and half Shanks. I really think we're getting truths, but they're all mixed in with all sorts of crazy lies and stuff like that.
Man, you believe everything are half truths though. It's like
Well,
you skeptical about everything, man.
well, I will say it is in the logo. When you just read the words of the logo, the anchor's facing the wrong way, so it almost tells you immediately to turn around right from the get go. And I think that is evident. I do agree. I think it's on every single page of the manga. I think he's constantly playing with these things and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Earlier, I was asking about the Universal Monsters thing, and I mentioned that because in the original Invisible Man movie, the name of the Invisible Man is Griffith.
Yeah.
And I think that Berserk has touched on that a little bit, and I definitely think that Shanks's invisible sword or invisible arm or the invisible arm that moves everyone's dreams or something. I think is really getting hinted at there, and some of these names that they came out with for the newest the swords and stuff. I just think have been crazy.
It sounds like you're kind of on the Threeville train, right? Where he said that he believes Shanks is bad.
I do
you think?
too. I'm not 100% sure. There are definitely factions of the red hair pirates. They're not all working together. I mean, I think first off, but even more than that, I'm not really 100% sure who is good and who is bad and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I did
So
not know that Regal said that though. I gotta check out some of his newer videos.
yeah, I mean, I know he was on Twitter. He was like going off on Twitter talking about how Shanks is like a enemy or whatever. So
Maybe he's listening to some of my comments then, because I'm in some group chats with him, and I've been. I mean, I'm not gonna pull up anything now. I do kind of touch on some of this stuff in these videos I keep promising, but the uh, the very first time we see Shanks's face, if you just look at it, I put post-it notes all over my like my manga volumes that I have because I have to find the stuff for reference and all these things. And for like a couple months, I had that page just marked off as the first page that Shanks was on there. But for a couple months, I covered half of his face. And
hmm
when I uncovered the second half of his face, where he's sitting there and then he's kind of making fun of Luffy and all that stuff, and he has the spoon in his hand,
yeah,
when you look at one half of his face, it's a completely every single point of it, the jaw, the nose, the eye crinkles, every single thing is exactly opposite on the other side of the picture, even down to his gums. Like one side of his mouth had dentistry with gums and the other side did not. And it is like so clear once you start really looking at a lot of crazy things like that, that he's at the very least two-faced or three-faced. And I think it is a Batman reference and all these comic books and stuff like that. You were mentioning some stuff, and like I said, I haven't read the whole Road to Laughtale stuff, but those names like the Scarecrow and the beluga whale makes me think of stuff. It's like there's all sorts of, he loves. I really think that something that he really is trying to do is just mix everything up, and I think that he really, really loves American superhero comics. But you can't really. Well, I mean, with My Hero Academia and stuff, 20 years later, you kind of can. But when he was doing Shonen Jump, you couldn't have a superhero comic in Shonen Jump. So I think that's one of his kind of resentments that he's trying to tackle with this is to create his own type of Caped Crusader.
yeah. So it seemed like you on the hype train with Threeville when it comes to Shanks. But yeah, so all right,
I don't want you. I don't want that to be. I have extremely independent views. I have not seen anybody saying the stuff that I have.
well, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you like you're on. I'm just saying y'all kind of got similar ideas. But yeah, anyway, all right, so all right, I'm kind of looking
Okay,
through.
actually, that if I can ask you a question then, because that's something that I was thinking about during the stream thing. This naming your sword and your kid the same thing. Now, I would argue that Roger does not seem to be a swordsman. So he views his sword and his relationship with his sword probably much differently than Zoro or a samurai does. I get the idea that there's not as much respect involved or honor. It's more of a tool type situation. So to me, the idea that Roger forcibly had a son and named him and hoped he was going to accomplish his dreams, I think is another huge two-sided clue with all this stuff. But I wanted to know what your opinion was with Roger naming his kid and his tool the same thing.
Do you think Ace was a like Portgas Ace was a tool for Roger?
I guess.
Possibly.
I think they do. I mean, Roger does in the story literally find out that he's too early and he's gonna die, and then says, "It's okay, my son will do it for me." And then they say you don't even have a son. So I would say that that does, in some sense, at least on some level, is happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how I see it is like it's kind of like like I said in the like earlier in the stream, right? Like there's the old saying like when you watch action movies or whatever, you always hear them say like, yeah, this is my ace in the hole, or just even in anime you might hear it where it's like it's that one attack that they don't show often. because it's
Good
like
point. Good point.
it's made to be it's made to look at it's made to be a technique that you only use like as a last resort, and you use it because as it stays a secret, you could surprise your enemies with it because they're not expecting it. They might see you use other attacks, but that ace in the hole is only just kind of like that last that attack. You know, it's that last resort attack. I think I
I like
think
that a lot, actually.
I think it kind of shows with Roger because he accomplished everything like that Luffy is already accomplished or trying to accomplish, right? He found the One Piece. He found probably a lot of the secrets of the world. If he was Joy Boy, he probably
Hold
would have.
on. If Luffy just wanted to do the same thing as Roger, then he would have just died with
Well,
Buggy and
I'm
kept
not
him.
saying he wants to do the same thing as Roger. I'm just saying he has accomplished everything that Luffy is currently trying to accomplish. That's what I said.
Oh,
But
I agree. I just think that everything that Roger accomplished happened, would have been accomplished by Luffy being killed by Buggy on the platform at Logtown.
yeah.
I really, when it comes to Roger, I'm not really sure what he seemed to accomplish because he didn't really seem to get a
Well,
lot of treasure to give to his crew.
let me finish my statement though.
Oh,
You
you
gotta
saw
let me you gotta let me use you asked me a question. I was answering your question.
my bad, my bad.
So Roger pretty much he's done everything that Luffy is trying to do. Luffy's trying to become Pirate King. Roger did that. He's exploring the world. Roger did that already. You know, he traveled it probably twice, if I think. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
but Roger, his only issue was he was too early. That was the problem. He was too early and he was dying. So he would never be able to, like, I'm not saying that was his goal, was to do to do this big plan or whatever, but he was obviously too early to do anything. So I think, but it seemed like Roger would have liked to accomplish what Joy Boy wanted him to, or what, like Joy Boy's goal, Joy Boy had a goal, right? It seemed like
True.
Roger would have liked to been the one to accomplish that, but he was too early.
Okay. No,
So
and I
so
like that. I agree.
all right,
But
but
I have another question though. That's just real quick though.
But all right, let me finish answering this question. You gotta let me finish
Like
answering this
all these
question.
questions lead to
So
new questions.
so so Roger couldn't achieve that, or he couldn't accomplish that. So Ace, his son, was his ace in the hole of, or to him at least, because he believed that Ace was going to be Joy Boy, right? So he knew he couldn't be Joy Boy. He was too early to be Joy Boy. So
I don't agree with the Joy Boy thing.
he probably believed that Ace was going to be Joy Boy, because it was even stated that he was like, oh, maybe my son to be Joy Boy or whatever. Somewhere I think it was stated. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be reading
No,
into
no,
it wrong.
no,
But
you're correct. I think the community says that too. I don't know where it is actually stated that the person that finds the piece is also Joy Boy.
so yeah, so I think Roger was using. I think it was just like the him giving Ace the name Ace is just kind of symbolic to Ace being his ace in the hole. So yeah,
I do like that. I do like that.
that's what I
That
think
is a
about
very good
your
take.
question.
No, that is I actually really like that. And when you look into the etymology of the word ace, it's exactly what you just said. It was the whole idea of changing, the lowest card to the highest card, and they had all sorts of implements that the kingdom actually changed in the city for card games, like for illegal gambling card games still. So just all the stuff you're touching on, I do agree. This ace in the whole idea is very cool. But something you said with the Roger and Luffy thing. So Roger wanted to find the One Piece, and then the government declared that he was Pirate King, and then he was executed.
Hey, can I?
All Luffy ever states is that he wants to be Pirate King. So I don't know where exactly how that correlates to them doing the same thing. I know that they're saying that or I know that Luffy says he wants to be Pirate King, and I know that we're told that Roger is the Pirate King. But what exactly that we've seen Roger do and accomplish nothing when it really comes down to it, that Luffy seems to be on the same course for. I don't even know where, even the poneglyph stuff, like with them, like if the poneglyphs were what was 100% required to find One Piece and all this stuff, and it wasn't anything crazier, wouldn't Roger have mentioned them at his execution? Instead, he uses actually the term that the government and the newspaper deemed for his own treasure that he found. He uses their term to discuss it to the whole world public.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he mention the poneglyphs if they were important?
Hold on. I'll answer that. But let me just point out something Angel said. He said he wants Ace to be Pirate King, but I don't know about Joy Boy. So
I agree.
Angel said, Roger said, but even then, you could look at that being like he wanted. He was using Ace as his ace in the hole to continue his legacy at the end of the day. But Ace just was the wrong person as well, which is my
Well,
point.
actually, I think that Angel and you are absolutely right because if I do think that Ace was supposed to be exactly what Roger was and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, Ace dying at Marineford is what causes Luffy to need to overcome growth and train for 2 years to be able to conquer the new world. So just like how how Roger's death spurred on the golden age of piracy and all this stuff we've seen now, nothing really changed since Roger died until Whitebeard died. It was just pretty much stagnant for everywhere.
But what was your last question though? Because you was asking me a question about you said wouldn't. Because you asked two questions. You gotta ask be concise on your questions. One question you asked was what did Luffy do, or what did Luffy not do?
I'm sorry. I will summarize that question way more easier. I understand that we're told that Gold Roger is the Pirate King, and I understand that Luffy constantly says that his dream is to be the Pirate King.
Okay,
but what have we seen Roger do? Taking an interest in going around the world, taking an interest in learning this ancient languages and ancient histories, building a crew of only men, all these little weird things. What of those things has Luffy ever correlated with his own goals? Outside of just the words, I want to be Pirate King.
Well, he wanted to travel the world too.
He never says that. He wants to go on adventures. He does not ever say that he wants to circumnavigate the world. The only person that actually says that in the crew is Nami.
Well, I mean, either way though, Luffy wants to go on adventures, right? Like he wants to.
Adventuring does not require sea. Does not require going out on sea to go on adventures. Even where he was
adventuring doesn't require exploring.
No, adventuring doesn't require you do not require a sea voyage on an adventure. If you want to get super technical, you could explore a cave, you could go up a mountain, you could do all sorts of things that don't require getting on a boat and going around the world. The Pirate King seems to involve that. I'll agree with that, but I don't think that Luffy is legitimately thinking of that. I think his natural actions are causing that to be something that happens. But I don't think that he literally is sitting there going, I want to go around the world. I don't think he ever thinks that.
Would you say that Luffy doesn't like traveling or doesn't like exploring the world?
No, I would not. I would not say that he doesn't. I would not say. I'm just saying.
Are you saying he has to explicitly say that in order for him to that not to be a goal for him? Like being he wants he said he wants to be the freest on the sea. Did Luffy not say I want? He said I want.
He says it the sea.
He wants to be the freest on the sea. That's a goal, right?
Yes, but that's not the world. That's not the world, and that's not the air, and that's not the space, and that's not anything.
Roger accomplished that though. Roger became Pirate King. That's one thing Luffy wants to do.
I will say,
in order to become Pirate King, it's a process, right? It's a process you have to. It's like you have to go traveling, you have to do all these things in order to become Pirate King. So it's a path, it's a path that you have to walk in order to become Pirate King.
Okay, except
would you agree with that though? Would you agree with that?
No, because on page 1 we see nothing and we're told everything about the Pirate King, and then we have beliefs instilled in us that we never actually see fulfilled right from page 1. But even when we see Roger actually become the Pirate King, we know that he did not choose that name, all that stuff. Literally, one day the newspaper said, hey, this guy finally went around the world, found this One Piece treasure. We're now calling the Pirate King. Okay. That seems to be all that's required to be called the Pirate King. We just saw it with Buggy, with the Yonko thing.
Hold on. because you say a lot, but then a lot of stuff you say get buried in the other stuff you say. So you gotta like kind of you gotta say something and then you know what I mean let it stick.
I do
Let
in the
it stick.
videos. I promise. I do better in
Let
the
it
video.
stick. So okay, so you just said what? You said Goldie Roger did what? Goldie Roger, he tried.
I'm saying that on page 1 of the manga, when we're reading, we're told all these things about the Pirate King and what this moment meant, okay? But we didn't actually see any of that. Like what you were saying about this whole, there needs to be steps, there needs to be all that stuff. No, there doesn't. There needs to be an open shot that has a narration.
You said something. You said Goldie Roger did something, and then they gave him the title Pirate King.
Well, yeah. He circumnavigated the globe. They said that.
Okay.
And then they said that he found the One Piece treasure, which is not the name that they gave it. They gave it the name Laughtale. They did not give it the name One Piece.
Okay.
So that's there too.
And
then they changed his name. They changed his name from Gold D. Roger to Gold Roger. And then they called him the Pirate King. So those 4 things have to happen for the Pirate King.
But okay. So that's steps though. Those are steps, or that's a process. Those are things.
All those happen from just the newspaper thing.
Those are things that yes. The term Pirate King is a created term that they created for Goldie Roger for doing certain things, right? He did certain things, and then they was like, okay, I want to let's name him the Pirate King because he did all these things that nobody else done, right?
Yes.
I mean, would you at least say that? So Luffy.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if no one's done. I don't think anyone's done what Roger did
that they know of. Nobody in like modern times that they know of has done that, right?
See, I really don't. I really those kind of huge ones that are like, I'll be honest with you, are like the fabric of what I think that these hidden lies, like we know.
Bro,
from Otis.
I'm asking a simple question. If you don't know, just say I don't know, right? Just so
that's what I'm telling you.
I'm trying to go somewhere with this.
I'm sorry. I want to go forward to. I'm sorry. I don't think that those moments that have been presented to us as simple moments are actually simple moments, and that's the huge trick. So when all these things are asked, it's like I don't know the general answer to the first page.
I asked you this. I made it a very concise question.
I think that the Pirate King position is entirely a lie. That's what I think.
I asked you a concise question. I asked you, as far as we know, right, in the modern age, in One Piece, as far as we know, has there been anybody else who've done everything that Goldie Roger has done? Pretty much,
I would say on a smaller scale. On a smaller scale, we saw
as we know. As far as we know,
yes. Who? I would say on a very smaller scale, Captain Kuro did the exact same thing that was happening in our One Piece world. We just don't know it yet.
He found a One Piece.
There's no One Piece. There is a poneglyphs and world history and all these crazy things, but our idea of what the One Piece is not at all real.
Adam, you're speaking in philosophy, right? I'm just asking. I'm asking like from what we've seen, not like what we may believe or anything. I'm just talking from what we've seen. Like, I'm going off of tangible things we could say, not like what I might believe or what you may believe. I'm asking you specific questions.
My bad. Yes, I agree with you. For what we've seen, no one else did.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking. Okay, so.
I thought this was my screen thing, so I could go crazy. I'm kidding.
So Roger accomplished certain stuff. They give him the title of Pirate King. Man, I feel like it's been like 50 minutes just to try to get this one point out, bro. Like you're making this complex.
They gave him the title of Pirate King. They gave him the title of Pirate King. You said it right there. That's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, so we know Luffy wants to become Pirate King. Right?
Yeah.
So is going on an adventure on some random island, like going through a whole adventure, does that get Luffy a Pirate King? Does that make Luffy the Pirate King?
No, the general consensus and what the story says is go around the world.
Exactly. He has to go. So him, in a sense, him wanting to become Pirate King alone means there are things that he has to do that Roger had did in order to And that's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Luffy is pretty much trying to follow the footsteps of Roger. Roger done everything that Luffy is already or is trying to do. That's pretty much basically what I said right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I said that at this point because we done went through like so many evolutions of this conversation.
Well, no, I
I don't
totally
even
hear
know
you.
why I was talking. Why I wanted that point at this point.
No, it's because I think it's because we're talking about implications, and you're absolutely right. There's all sorts of things implicated from the idea of what Luffy wants to do. You're absolutely right, and that is on purpose.
Oh
All
yeah,
I'm
I
saying
remember. I
is
remember. You asked me what. You asked me what did I guess I forgot what you had. Dang. Like what haven't Luffy done that Roger did or
I
Roger
said, what are
wasn't
they doing
something like
that's
that. That
the
was your
same?
question.
I said, what are they doing that's actually the same aside from going to the same places?
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, they
Luffy seems to be going to all these places and helping them. Roger
yeah
went to all of them and just took information and left. I
yeah.
would say their stories seem to be completely different on every level when you really look at them, including that Luffy
Mm,
goes to these
I wouldn't
places and
say
he
they're.
helps them.
I wouldn't say they're. We don't know what Roger completely did in all these places. We don't know if he was out there liberating people. I'm
We
not
know
saying he
that right
was.
now in the One Piece world, there are still all these problems that have been going on for at least the last 20 years since his death, but for most of them, it seems like at least the last 800, 400, 200 years. So whatever Roger actually didn't actually solve any of these problems that we all believe that Luffy will eventually solve in the story.
Yeah,
So
eventually
I
though.
agree with you that the Pirate King is something with that
but
ultimately, because
but
it's the best manga in Shonen Jump.
but
That's what the
but
Pirate King is.
but peep what you said. You said Luffy will eventually accomplish that. That don't mean he accomplished it yet. He's
Well,
he's
no, I'm sorry.
he went to different islands and he put band-aids on the problems of each island he
No,
went
well,
to
no,
help.
in one fashion, but this is what I truly believe, and this is going to be short and concise. If Luffy wanted to be just like Roger, he would have died when Buggy would have killed him at Logtown. And then the rest of his crew would have taken revenge and done all sorts of stuff in history for the next few years to eventually get revenge and take over the world.
Oh,
That's what I think ultimately the Pirate King did there on things.
I
So if
never
Luffy
say
wanted to do that,
I
I don't think he's doing the same thing.
I never said Luffy wanted to be Roger though. I
You
said
say he's wanted to be the Pirate King. We don't know anything about Roger except
I
that he was
said
the Pirate King when we really break it down.
I said Roger pretty much did everything that Luffy is doing because and the reason why I say that is because
That's what I'm
Luffy
saying is I don't think it's true.
my point is Luffy is following the same path as Roger. I just bro, you just agreed though. Like now it's not true.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my
To
goodness.
me, to
You all
me,
over the place, man. Come
no,
on, bro.
no, I'm sorry. The way I should have said it is like, like walking two moons in someone's steps. It's like, yes, they're taking the same path, but they're not living the same life. Roger seemed to go to these places
I'm not saying
and
they
did
live in the
not
same
seem to
life.
take steps.
I'm
So
not
to me,
I'm
well,
not
okay,
saying
so
they live
so
in the same life.
if you're not saying that though, then you're saying what I'm saying because I know on the surface that they look like everyone's doing the same thing and they're going to the same places. But Luffy is actually accomplishing all these people's dreams. He's not dying and leaving it for other people to accomplish, and or
Adam,
whatever form that takes.
Adam,
That's all
Adam.
I'm saying. So
I
I
get
don't
that.
think to me that counts. They're doing the same thing.
Adam. I said that. I said Roger because I don't fully know how Roger's journey went. We don't. We just know that
I
he
agree.
was traveling. We know he came apart Laughtale and everything. We know he's been to all these different places, right? We don't know if he liberated any of these places. We don't know like Luffy has been liberating places. We don't know any of that, right?
That's why I said in the
I
current
said
story, we just know they're still oppressed. That's all we know.
I'm saying all I'm saying because I guess this stems from something I said, right? Because you asked me a question. Because you disagreed with the fact that I said Luffy, or I said Roger pretty much has already done everything that Luffy is trying to do, or at least he's walked the path that Luffy is currently like he's already walked that path that Luffy is currently walking is pretty much what I'm saying. I didn't say that they were the same people. Like I think you kind of
I'm just saying they're not even
I
walking
think
the
you
same
thought I
path.
probably was saying they did the same thing or Luffy was trying to be Roger.
I was thinking you were
I
saying that because to me, if Luffy just wants to be free and all this stuff, all we ever see of the Pirate King for 500, 600 chapters is just him in chains,
I
like
I
right there in front of our face that they're
I
not the same,
I think
stuff like
Luffy.
that.
I think Luffy just wants to become Pirate King, right? Like Roger was, and they just tend to happen. They happen to have similar personalities. You know, that's all.
I don't agree with that
I don't think Luffy is actively trying to be like Roger. I never. I didn't
what are
say
the
that
same
either.
personalities?
Huh?
What are their similar personalities? Roger seemed to want to know
Oh,
about history
they're
and truth.
very like very adventurous and carefree, and they're ambitious as well. I'm not saying they're just like we haven't been
No,
around
no.
Roger enough.
I'm just
We
asking how they're even similar. I mean, every single thing about
I just
Roger seems to have been
I
once
just
he
told
found
you.
out he was dying, he was planning to find the One Piece.
I just
Luffy's
told you.
just being free and going around on an adventure.
I just
So
told you though.
Roger seems very meticulous to me, just on the surface. So I'm not really even sure where they seem to be similar.
I just told you. They're adventurous. They're both adventurous. They're both ambitious. They're both carefree, have very carefree attitudes. They look into the face of danger and just like run towards it. Like there are there at a fundamental level personality wise, are they different? Yeah, but there are, let's not act like there aren't any similarities between the two.
You're 100% right. There are a few similarities. You're absolutely right. I would say like
I
half and half, like Two-Face. But
we have
I don't
I
think it's a
haven't
complete
I
one to
haven't
one.
I haven't experienced Roger enough to say that him and Luffy are one to one the same personality. You know what I'm saying? We
I
have seen
agree.
Roger, and like you said, in some ways they are different. I agree with you on that, but at the same, I'm just saying, like they are alike in some ways that where there's nobody else in the world that are like them. Like nobody in the world is as ballsy as them, where they could look in a situation where the odds are just completely stacked against them, and they just go in smiling, right? Like nobody, like not
100%, 100%,
nobody's like, you know
100%.
what I'm saying? Like, and that's all I'm saying. They're very alike. They have the same. They pretty much have very similar dreams. You know, I mean, Luffy wants to be Pirate King, but
And that's and
Roger
that's what
never
that's what and
said
that's
he
what my
wanted to be
problem is.
Pirate King. But
Because whatever Roger accomplished, it resulted in him having some disease and him being put up for execution. Either way, whatever he wanted to do, he was too early. So everything that he wanted to do was then classified as being the Pirate King. I don't think that Luffy thinks about any of that stuff, but he wants to be Pirate King. I agree that like at the end of the Grand Line, it seems to match up. I just think there's a bunch of tricks
you
involved about how those happen to actually be the same thing. Is all I'm saying.
you
But
know
I
something.
understand it's crazy.
You know something. The fact that Luffy don't the fact like what you just said. The fact that Luffy don't really care about doing like all them things. That to me, that right there makes him similar to Roger, because I don't
But
think
Roger
Roger.
did care. Roger literally had a kid in order to do the things that he couldn't do. Do you think
And
Luffy would do someone like that?
hold on. But then I could sit here and say Luffy cares enough to be Pirate King. So in
Luffy
some
cares
ways,
enough to
Luffy
do it
cares
himself.
too, right?
Luffy cares enough to do it himself. I agree with that. I'm not. I'm just saying.
There-
I don't know where I see
So
Roger do
they
that.
do care, but I'm saying they both have like Roger didn't say I want to be Pirate King. You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
Exactly. And
Roger
that's all
never said
Luffy
that.
ever says.
But Roger
And that's
had
all Luffy ever
Roger
says.
at the end of the day, if you want to look at their dreams from if you want to look at both of their dreams from a very fundamental level, like from the very fundamentals, like take away all the fancy titles and the fancy sayings and all that. You want to look at it
Roger
from a
wanted the truth.
you want to
Roger
look at it.
says it.
Hold on.
He
You want
said
to
he
look.
wants to know the truth.
Hold on.
Luffy just wants to be free.
Hold on. You don't think Roger wanted to be free either? You don't think that was like he enjoyed the freedom of his journey? And you think he like wanted to be tied down and stuff and everything?
To,
You
to
don't
me,
think he
he
don't
seems
you
very
don't think he
old.
love you don't think he don't love adventure and
His
exploration?
name being goal and not journey, I think, is a big key to the idea that he was not about. He's much more of a destination guy, not the journey.
And you
So I
said
do not think that he was doing that stuff.
you said Roger wanted what?
He seemed to want to know the truth about the world history and to go around the world. Those are the two things he says that he wants.
You don't think Luffy don't want that? You don't
I
think
have never
you don't,
heard Luffy say that he
bro?
is interested in the real history of the world. I'm not saying that
I'm not
Arthur
saying the
Curry
history of the
isn't.
world part. I'm not saying the history of the world part. I meant the
Well,
traveling
okay,
the world.
so that whole entire Odin flashback,
He
the only reason that he joined and that Roger wanted to go to the last island is because the poneglyphs told him to.
why why
So to
why do you,
me,
why
and he
would you want to be
says,
the freest on the world? Why would you want to be the freest in the world if you don't want to travel the world, or if you don't want to see the world and explore? Like you said,
I'm
Roger.
not
That's what
saying
Roger
that
wanted,
free
right?
does
You
not
know what I mean?
include, I'm just saying we did not hear Roger say free. We've only heard Luffy one time say free, and then he does all these actions. We have actually heard Roger, like 3 occasions during that flashback, say he wants to know the true history. We've never heard Luffy say anything about history or anything like that. He
I
just
didn't,
does stuff.
and I'm not arguing that aspect though. I'm not arguing over the history part. That's one thing
The
I'll give
only
you.
reason
I'll
Odin
give,
joined the
bro.
crew was to
Let
find
me
that out. The
finish.
only
Let
reason
me
we had
finish,
that flashback was because he wanted to know that. So
bro.
without that, then we wouldn't even have had Wano. So to
Bro,
me, it means it must be important.
Adam, I'm not arguing with you on the aspect that Roger wanted to learn the history and Luffy don't. I give you that. I'm trying to give you that, but you're gonna keep
Okay.
arguing that same point. I'm not. That's
My
not
bad,
even the
my
point
bad,
I'm arguing. I'm
my bad.
arguing I'm arguing the explorate the wanting to travel the world part. You just keep harping on the him. See, I give you that. I give you that, bro.
Okay.
If
So
you
so
let
to
me
me,
talk, I would even sometimes I even try to agree with you, but you don't give me a chance to agree with you. You just
I'm
keep
sorry,
going.
man.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry, man. I'm
goodness.
an asshole. I'm an asshole.
It's not you asshole. You gotta breathe. Breathe, bro.
No, yeah,
Breathe.
true.
You know what I'm
My wife
saying?
says the same thing. My wife
Breathe,
says the
man.
same stuff.
Oh my goodness. It's like I can't even get a full coherent thought out without you
Actually,
hopping on the second word that I said. Like you
okay,
literally, I'll be in the middle of a sentence and you hop on you hop on the second word I say, and I'm like, bro, don't you
okay. So
let me get my whole point out and then respond. If you hop on the second word, I can't get the full context of what I'm saying out. So you can't even give me a decent answer to the what I'm saying because you're not letting me finish.
my bad, my bad.
Man, okay, let's take it down a little bit, okay? Slow down. Slow down, all right? Breathe.
Well, can I ask you a
Like
question
breathe.
about the last time you
Let's do
said
this.
that?
Let's do this. Hold on. Before you ask me anything, let's do an exercise real quick, okay? Now we're gonna breathe in, all right? Let's do some breathing exercises, all right? Just all right, breathe in with me for 3 seconds. All right, come on.
I'm trying to get close to the microphone so you can hear it. I'm breathing.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Exhale. All right,
Reminds me like when I'm getting a massage.
now say what you want to say. Now say your point.
Okay, so I'll ask you a question on the last thing that you said.
Okay.
We know that Luffy considers the Pirate King to be the freest man on the seas.
Yes.
But I would say that that has to be oxymoronic coming from a guy that, for all we know, is no matter what happens, not able to swim. So whatever version of sea that he's on is going to require him to not actually be in it, or else he will not be able to be free. So is there any way that makes sense to you?
I mean, I can't say it do make sense, but I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I don't.
Well, just this idea that they were that just that's just why I want to end it on is because that's what I kind of came to at the end too is with the information that we've been given, a lot of the story really doesn't make sense that much, and that's one of them. Luffy literally says in all the versions, "I want to be the freest man on the seas." Well, to me, that would be someone who can just swim in it, and he can, as far as we know, never be able to do that. So that to me,
But you got to kind of look at it from his point of view, right? Like you
I
got,
am.
like
I
I get
am.
what you're
He
saying,
wants to be able to
but
swim. I think he wants to be able
freedom,
to swim. It's the very
I
first thing it says in the manga.
and I mean that's cool, but I'm saying freedom to him is just being able to travel, right? Ultimately, it's just being able to travel wherever. It's being able to go wherever he wants to go and explore and have an adventure with no borders. That's pretty much why he wants to be Pirate King because he believes if he could be Pirate King, there's no borders. There's nobody telling him you can't go there. You can't go there. You
If
know,
I told
now
you
I get
that
the
the
whole him
start
not
of the
being able to
manga,
swim thing, but like freedom itself. When you
no,
talk
I
about
agree. I
when you
agree.
what
I totally agree. I'm
you
sorry.
can't you can't.
What you
I
say, I
didn't
totally
say
agree.
nothing yet though. I didn't say what freedom. I didn't say it yet though. You can't agree. I didn't say it. Freedom isn't like freedom is a concept that like you could say freedom in itself could be oxymoronic because a lot of people say they like being free, but do they really? Because if society, let's say the world, if the world was really free, it'd be super dangerous for people, and people wouldn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
you know what I mean? It's like freedom is different. For him, freedom is just being able to explore without no borders. You know what I'm saying? Because he likes exploration. He likes traveling. You know, he
I
doesn't
think
he
you're
doesn't
right.
explicit he doesn't explicitly say like, oh, I want to go travel the world or nothing. But he loves traveling. Let's be real. That's part of why he want to be Pirate
Totally.
King.
Totally.
Oh,
A
Goldie
hundred
Roger
million percent.
loves traveling. He just say he Goldie Roger just might have been more specific in saying it, right? He might have been more specific in saying it. Now, I agree on the aspect that Luffy he doesn't care about the secrets of the world. I agree with you on that. I'm not even gonna argue that aspect. I never did argue that. Cause I know I would be bullshitting if I told you Luffy cared about that shit.
True,
Excuse my
true, true.
language. You know,
Well, no, and dude, if I told you that on the third page of the manga that Luffy is actually trapped in that town and in that ship and in that bar in some figurative godly sense, and then he's freed and that's what he wants to stay, kind of like the genie from Aladdin. If you believe me on some level with what I just said, I'm agreeing with you, and I think that that's one of the biggest secrets that Oda has in the end game, is that he could be some form of a genie that was locked away in that town, and then Shanks and them broke the witch bottle or the message in a bottle, whatever, and freed the genie from the lamp. And it's all about trying to trap him back up in some form. So I do agree with you. I just agree with you for crazy reasons.
yeah. Angel got a question. He says, "I have a question. I
Okay,
would
no,
like
right.
to." Well,
Sure.
I mean, you could ask the question, Angel. But yeah, but while he asked the question, you could say there's differences in Luffy and Roger, but you can't like you gotta acknowledge that there are a lot of similarities. Just the fact that Luffy is on his path, the
That's
fact
what I
that
say. I say
the
it's
fact
surface
that
level.
Luffy is on his path, you know what I'm saying? Like fundament in the ways, because I would say Roger is different some ways. Like he's not as like airheaded as Luffy. You know what I'm saying? But he is a bit airheaded in some ways. He's a bit naive and careless in many ways as well. And when I say that Luffy is pretty much, or Roger has done everything that Luffy has done, Luffy is doing, you know, and I'm not saying he done everything. I don't know if he beat Kaido and Big Mom at the same time. Well, I mean, he didn't beat Kaido and Big Mom at the same time. But I don't know if Roger beat Kaido, because I don't know if they even fought. I think Roger probably did beat Kaido. I think Kaido or Rogers. I think
He was
Rogers.
in that shot.
Yeah, I think he's in one of the few people who had beat Roger. But
Probably.
my point is, like, did they do every single did Luffy do every single thing Roger did? No. You know, their journey, I'm pretty sure, was different in many ways, right? But there's a lot of things that Luffy has to achieve in order to become Pirate King. You know, like getting the road poneglyphs for one. Roger did that already, because he had to do that in order to become Pirate King. You know, like every prerequisite that, I mean, again, even though Roger kind of created the whole Pirate King thing, because it wasn't a term that was there until he became it, right? But that's,
Well,
in a
and that
sense, that's my point. Like Roger blazed the path so that Luffy is following.
So I absolutely agree with you. But my big problem is that continues to grow, because if the story would have ended at like chapter 100 and he found the One Piece, that would have been all we required reading to think of this being the Pirate King. And then that evolved. And it became, this whole Red Line thing. And then that evolved into being this Yonko thing. So I agree with you. At certain points, the story seems to inexplicably grow. And I also agree that Roger has kind of backtracked and at least uh, in some form been able to be added to certain key arcs. I agree with all that stuff. I'm not saying that those things aren't happening or didn't happen. I just think that the way that they happened and the intention behind them could be really, really out there. Because, like I said, if you just read the first 25 volumes and then Luffy found the One Piece, that would be enough to be the Pirate King at that point. That's all we would have needed.
Yeah.
This new poneglyph stuff and all these things really kind of just really took hold the last 5 years or so.
It is, but it is what it is, though. The story evolved, and you gotta
I
go with
agree.
you gotta
Because no
go
one
with,
fought
with
Oda.
the
I agree.
you gotta go with the evolved story, and that's all I'm going with. Yes,
Me too.
you
Me
could be
too.
right.
Me
If
too.
if
Me
it
too.
stopped at a certain point, then
So
Luffy would have been
I
fine.
am not saying that what we watch doesn't happen, and I'm not saying all those things. I'm everything that I'm saying.
I get what
I'm
you're
trying to
I
take
get
into
what you're
account
saying.
the real stuff.
I get what you're saying, Adam. I get what you're saying.
Okay, cool.
I'm just saying. You know, you're right. If it was a stop at that point, then Luffy would have been okay. He would have been Pirate King already. But the story evolved, so we just I gotta go off. I gotta go with how the story evolved, and that's what I'm talking.
And I'm
I'm
saying
not
that they all
I'm not
connect.
talking
They
about would
all are.
have.
They all connect.
I'm just saying I'm not talking about the would have and the could have. I'm just talking about what is. You know what I'm saying? But
I
let
cannot
me
get any more serious. Me too.
let me answer this. Let me ask this question because Angel got a question. I want to read it. Angel says, "Do you think there was a pirate king 400 years ago? Because when Oars wake up, he says he wants to be pirate king. Another thing I found interesting is they have the same exact personality.
Well,
So
they do, but that's the last thing he says.
I'll let you answer this because I'll let you answer after. Let me just answer it first because
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna try to keep it shorter because I know you probably gonna expand way more than me. So let me answer. Let me take this first and I'll give it to you. All right. As far as the was there a pirate king 400 years ago? I would say yes and no. I would say was the term pirate king used? Probably not. Was there somebody that probably did everything that Roger did and could be considered the pirate king if that term was around? Probably. You know, and that might have been Joy Boy. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think the pirate king. I don't think there was the term. I don't think that term existed at that point. I don't even know if pirates was a thing. It probably was, but they probably didn't call them pirates or something. I don't know. But as far as Oars waking up, because I think you're talking about Thriller Bark Oars, right?
I think
Oars,
so. I think
that Oars had Luffy's personality in him. So him saying I wanted to be Pirate King, I don't think that was necessarily Oars saying that. That was Luffy's shadow in Oars saying that. So I don't think Oars saying that was really has anything to do with there being a Pirate King long ago. I think that was more Luffy's shadow affecting the personality of a corpse. You know, so yeah, I don't really know why that would have been. But as far as the same exact personality, are you talking Roger Roger and Luffy? I'm not too sure, but like I said, I don't know if I would say they have the same exact personality, but they do have personality wise, they do have a lot of similarities.
I think he means Oars and Luffy. I think he meant Oars and Luffy.
Oh, if Oars and Luffy, bro, was you
They had
not
a shadow.
watching
They
Thriller
had
Bark?
a
Was you
shadow.
not watching Thriller Bark, Angel? The shadows affect the personalities. You know, even Ryuma, yeah, like he had Brook's shadow, but I mean, he still kind of had his personality, but
A
a
little
lot of
bit,
his
yeah.
personality was still affected by Brook's personality, like the whole yo ho ho ho. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like
Well, and oh, is it? Sorry.
nah, I'm done.
Oh no, and I would say that he is 100% right, but it's very interesting because the first thing that he says, well, the first thing he does is make a fist, then he opens his eyeball, and then he says meat, and then the last thing that he says that's the same as Luffy is the Pirate King thing, and then he says he wants to leave that place. That's what he says. So I think there's a huge idea of like primary drives, like the hunger and fear and stuff like that, and Luffy could be in some way Or maybe Oars was the inhabitant of that. So when it got Luffy's shadow put in there, it mixed in with that. But he says meat first, and I think that that's Luffy's ultimate. He's always hungry and stuff. He's constantly wants to eat, excitement, all those things. So that's why I think he says meat first. But yeah, it's his shadow. We're told with all the shadow characters that it's like they're like mixed in there a little bit.
Yeah, and at least with Ryuma. At least with Ryuma, I think Ryuma, especially him being a very strong samurai at that, he might have been able to keep some of his traits because he might have had like a special will. But even his personality was somewhat like Brook as well. But it was less Brook than Oars was Luffy. Like Oars probably was his Luffy's shadow affected Oars a lot more than Brook's shadow affected Ryuma. But that could also be because Luffy has such a strong personality compared to Brook, and then maybe Ryuma also had because Ryuma was a samurai. He was one of the strongest, probably one of the strongest people back in his day. So, but I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for that though. Honestly, I'm just kind of spitballing.
So Angel, and not to take over the stream right, I'm not going to talk anything crazy, but I do have a video coming out today that's talking about the poneglyphs. But tomorrow I'm dropping what was going to be my first video. It's all about Bink Saki and Brook and Thriller Bark and all these things. It's 2 hours long by accident, so I didn't want that to be my first video. So I'm dropping that in Angel. I have a lot of interesting things in that about what you're talking about with Oars and Brook and stuff, because we just talked about eating. Well, Brook has a strong will. He survived for 50 years by himself or whatever to meet back up with whatever, to just keep surviving. But he's a skeleton that doesn't need to eat, yet he loves to eat. The idea of needing to consume without actually or wanting to consume without actually needing to is kind of the idea of light touching everything and his fruit and all these crazy things with Brook. So I think this idea of hunger, I think that's the aspect of his shadow that they wanted for the samurai, because everything else doesn't really match up with Brook. Brook's a coward at the end of the day. He would constantly ran away. He pretends to be a swordsman, and he runs away all the time. Ryuma doesn't seem to act like him at all, but he does drink. He's a zombie who drinks tea. I don't think
Brook is a coward though. I think Brook,
well, he's rock. He's rock,
I get what you're saying. I'm saying I don't think he was a coward. I think it's just like he realized I'm saying I don't. What you say?
I think there's a lot to the idea that he's the cowardly lion.
No, I'm saying I think with Brook, because if you're using that situation with him and Ryuma I'm just saying if you're using the situation with him and Ryuma to say that Brook is a coward, I disagree. I disagree with that. I think that Brook it's just hold on. I think hold on. I think it's like Ryuma just outclassed him. If you literally just can't beat a guy, it's like you're gonna realize like, bro, I could keep doing that, but
That's exactly what Zoro did. That's exactly what Zoro did, right?
Hold on. Let me finish, bro. You gotta let me finish saying what I'm saying. I didn't even get my full thoughts out.
My bad.
I think he just realized he couldn't beat him. It's like you can't beat him. Like why would I just bravely go fight somebody that I know I'm gonna lose? Because every time I fight him, I'm always at the brink of death. That'd be I mean, we don't know if Brook can die. Like now, if he's immortal, come to find out he's immortal and he knew this whole time and didn't want to fight Ryuma. Now I'll agree with you. But so I'm saying like he realized he couldn't beat him, so it's like, bro, I'm not going.
But that's the thing.
Let me ask you something. Before you finish. Okay. Before you go, let me ask you something. Then, if you came across a giant stone troll, like a giant, right? You came across a giant, and this giant could kill you with a finger. Would you run away from him?
So, are you asking me, or are you asking me, the version of me that's a swordsman?
I'm asking you.
Okay. Well, I can't answer that because my answer is I'm too cowardly to leave the house. I would never go on that adventure. I'm too much of a coward. But in the story,
all right. But let me finish. Let me
single chapter. I'm sorry.
Let me say my point, and then let me say my point with that question, and then I'll let you go.
Well, I was trying to answer.
My point is, I wouldn't fight a giant. That doesn't mean like I wouldn't say anybody who wouldn't fight a giant that's made of stone or something that can kill you with a finger. I wouldn't call you a coward from running away from a giant
Totally.
that can
Me neither.
kill you
Me neither.
easily. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
neither.
I would
Me
run
neither.
away, but I
I
would
would
fight
too.
in most instances. That's all I'm saying. Brooke ran from a losing battle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not
Bro,
being cowardly from losing, running from a lose. Just because Zoro will fight a losing battle, you can't say just because Zoro will fight a losing battle, you're a coward
okay.
for running for it. You know what I'm saying? Zoro
So,
don't care. Zoro died. That's Zoro.
okay. I need to say two things because I'm sorry, but I just totally disagree with what you just said, and I have two huge things that are not long
You
to
could
say
disagree with it, but that doesn't make you
no,
a
no,
cat. That don't make somebody
no,
running a coward because
listen.
they run from a losing
Every
fight.
single chapter that we see in the flashback of Brooke being a coward, we actually also in that same chapter, the first page of those chapters has that your song guy who actually has Zoro's soul in his body. And the only thing he says the entire chapter is that a swordsman never runs away and never gets a scar on his back. When we see Zoro fight Mihawk, the exact same situation as you just stated happens. And as a swordsman, as our clear example of what a swordsman is,
Yeah.
Zoro does not run away and he almost gets killed. Now, in Thriller Bark, there seemed to be a huge emphasis on trying to find the right shadow for the right bodies. They had ores in a freezer forever until they found the right shadow with Luffy. So, what about Brook would make it a good idea to give them as far as Moria might have known, the strongest samurai body ever? Why would he put a non-swordsman shadow in that ever? To me, it's a total clue
Bro,
of craziness that
you're
there's something going on with this swordsman idea and what it does mean to be a coward and all this stuff.
bro.
And what exactly is going on with
But
Ryuma.
what you're getting wrong is Zoro and Brook is not Zoro. They're not the same type of.
Okay,
They're
so
not the same type of.
why wouldn't they have just
Hold on. You
why
asked
wouldn't
me
they
a
have just kept
question,
Ryuma's
bro.
corpse?
You asked me a
Why would
question.
they have used Brooks'
Let me
shadow in
finish,
it?
bro. You asked me a question. Let me finish. Stop interrupting me. Like man, like
Sorry.
bro, like now you kind of like it's irritating now.
Sorry, that was just the wrong question. That was just the wrong question.
Okay,
Why would
but
they use
you're
why wouldn't they just keep
what
Ryuma in a freezer then?
okay, I got your question. I know your question. I'm trying to answer. You're interrupting me, re-asking the question. I get what you're saying. What you get wrong is it's you're comparing Zoro with Brook. That's that's the first place you get wrong. Zoro is not Brook. Brook's not Zoro. Brook's not the same type of swordsman as Brook.
Ryuma is.
Zoro is a Zoro. Brook is like a fighter that uses a sword. But he's not like Zoro where it's like he's so serious as a swordsman. Like Brook never been like a serious swordsman like that. So
Well, couldn't Moria have taken a
hold
Zoro
on.
shadow and put it in him?
But Brook was the person who was there at the time. He didn't have Zoro. He had Brook. He
Did.
was using
He
what
did.
bro.
When we actually first meet
Ryu,
Ryuma, it's 2 chapters after that Zoro's soul is already caught and put into your song guy. So Moria could have
well,
just switched out.
when did Moria see Zoro? When did Moria meet
Uh,
Zoro?
it is like 5 chapters before we meet Ryuma. He takes a soul or a shadow.
I don't know why Gecko Moria used Zoro or Brook over Zoro. I don't know. But as
Exactly.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the you're calling Brook a coward for not fighting Ryuma. I'm saying,
Yeah.
and then you're
I'm
trying to
saying
say,
unfortunate.
then you're sitting here saying, well, Zoro said a coward would run away and all this and stuff. Bro, that's Zoro's philosophy and stuff. Like you're using Zoro's philosophy to dictate Brook being a coward. Like Brook is just
No.
was logical. Brook was reasonable, bro. Brook was
No.
being reasonable. That's all.
Yeah.
Like just because
That
Zoro
was-
would
yeah,
just because Zoro would throw his life away out of pride, that doesn't make Brook a coward. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I agree, and that's why I really have problems because okay. I don't think that with all the stuff with Ryuma, I just don't think that they were actually after a swordsman. All that stuff was fake. Because if they were actually after a swordsman, he would have just used Zoro's shadow. Instead, he used Brook's shadow. And I think it's because he's another aspect of this hunger thing. He's the only zombie that we see in Thriller Bark, aside from Oars who talks about meat. Ryuma's the only zombie in Thriller Bark that drinks. He's the only other zombie we've seen eat stuff. So that isn't like human flesh or brains or whatever joke.
Yeah.
So To me, there's a huge problem. I agree with you that I think being a swordsman's kind of dumb because ultimately you would do
I'm
something like Zorro
I'm
just for
not saying
pride. It would all be about that.
I'm not saying it's dumb. I'm just saying Zoro
Well,
has
and well,
Zoro is a very disciplined swordsman. He's like I'm not saying Brook ain't a swordsman, but
you guys were
Zoro.
talking yesterday on the stream about Brooke, and it's like the only thing we know about his history outside the Rumbar Pirates is that he says he
Yes.
was a swordsman
Okay,
for a
okay, okay.
royal army.
Let me get my thought out, please. Can I get my thought out?
Sorry,
Can you let
sorry,
me get my
sorry.
thought out without interrupting me? All right. So where was I? Dang man. All right. Zoro is Brook is a swordsman, but he's not the same type of swordsman that Zoro is. Zoro is a disciplined and a serious swordsman. He trains. He's always cleaning his sword. He's always doing. He takes his craft very seriously as a swordsman. Brook is a swordsman because he does primarily fight with a sword.
I'd
You
say he's
know,
a fencer.
but he's not like Zoro or Ryuma or Mihawk or anything. He's not like that type of swordsman. You know what I'm saying? He's just a
You,
guy who's good with a sword. But
you know
but
martial art.
yeah, but like I was saying, Zoro said a coward would run away or whatever. Brook's not that type of swordsman. Like
I agree.
my only point I'm arguing, like all that stuff with why they choose. I don't know why they chose Brook when they could have got
Sure.
Zoro. I don't know, but that I'm talking on the coward part that you're just casually saying that Brook is a coward. I'm saying because he didn't fight Ryuma. All I'm saying is, bro, he knew that's not a winning fight, bro. Like he fought him already. He fought him like a bunch of times, and it was like, bro, I'm gonna keep getting my butt whooped. I'm not just gonna throw my life away out of some ego type. Brooks not the type that's gonna die out of ego, and I don't
I
blame him for
absolutely
that.
agree.
I don't blame him
No,
for
I
that.
agree.
I'm not, but I don't think he's a coward for that. Like that's all I'm saying. You know,
I,
let
sorry.
me say the check because Angel said something. I've been wanting to read it for a while.
My bad.
And we're probably gonna have to wrap up soon because
Oh, you're
um
good, dude. No, you're
uh
good. You're good, dude. That's why
and
I
it
like. That's why I'm always embarrassed to go on it because I was like, I know I'm crazy, and it's like it's hard to explain this stuff.
yeah, all right. Angel said, yeah, but having Luffy shadow didn't make him become 100% Luffy because there are other characters who have their own personalities with someone else's shadow. Yeah, but having Luffy shadow them.
I
Well,
think it's
yeah,
just like
I don't, I didn't say he was 100% Luffy.
totally. And neither did I. Yeah,
you
we neither do we.
Angel, you was the one who said that they had the exact same personality. I didn't. I say is I said Luffy's uh will influence or his personality influenced the corpse.
Totally.
Like that's all I'm saying. Like that's what it's been. That was the point. That was kind of the point of the whole Thriller Bark thing was the shadows influenced the corpse. And I think Luffy's personality is so strong. Not only that, Luffy is special in a sense. You know what I'm saying? He has a special will or a special spirit that we just started learning about, right? That we just really started being introduced to. So maybe his spirit just had a stronger hold on the corpse. But
Totally.
yeah, but yeah, that's all. But yeah, so I kind of want to wrap this up. Like I want to wrap this up. So I'll let you kind of speak your piece on if you know if you want to have a last argue like a last point that you want to drive home on.
No, I'll just, I honestly, I really, I would love for you to. It's too long for a review or whatever, but just when in your free time, if you actually watch, if you ever watch YouTube, if you want to give it a shot, because a lot of the stuff we're talking about, I think I make a lot better arguments
How long is
in
your
the.
video? How
It,
long
it,
is?
it is 2 hours long, so it's too long for anything. But I
Yeah,
am dropping one tonight. It's only a half hour, so that one's easier to watch. And you know what?
I
I can send you privately, like like hey, if you just want to see the one part we were talking about, jump to this time for a 5 minute clip, not for the show, but just for you personally, just if you're interested in what we were talking about, because I ultimately agree with you. I just think that like ultimately there's stuff fishing, like fishing And in Thriller Bark, I think the idea that that sword wanted to go back to Wano was the biggest aspect of everything that happened with Zoro ultimately in Thriller Bark. So you could almost say that that was like the fishing lure that has taken him to one. Not that he wasn't going to already probably go and all this stuff, and he might be like related all these things, but that sword wanting to get taken back to where it comes from is I think what was going on there for that half of it. I think other stuff was going on with Luffy and everything that I touched on with the video. That's why it's 2 hours. It's really crazy. But you know, it's just kind of some cool stuff that I think there's a lot of proof for. Or not proof for, you know, it's all interpretations, but just some ideas that if, you know, that probably I haven't really heard anywhere else that, you know, really
Break,
kind of seem to have a lot of substantial panels to go along with it that are just wild. So
hey, well,
you know, that's it.
break it down to like a, if you could break down all your points in a, like a, if you could break down all the key points in your video into like a 20-minute video, then
Dude,
I'll react to it if you break it down, because if it's 2 hours, I'm not gonna react to that like that. You know,
no, and
that's
that's
something
why I
I
was
have to
not
do
saying.
multiple parts for. And
No, and
but
that's
if
why
you,
I want to make it clear. I was not trying to ask you to do on the channel or say that or anything. I was just saying for your personal use. For me, I looked at Arthur's big video about the Bing Saki thing, and my video literally disproves his video without a doubt. So whatever it takes to get you to watch it, I will do whatever in the future. But
well, if you
it had to be
well
2 hours. His video is three and a
like
half hours.
I said, if you could condense it into a 20-minute video, you don't have to put it on YouTube, but you could just send me the video. If you could do that for me, I'll do it on stream. You know what I'm saying? But if if it's
Well,
gonna
no,
be a
I got
2 hour
some
video,
parts. I got some
I
parts.
can't.
I'll do that because I'm gonna make a little. I'm gonna make like a. I understand a 2 hour video is crazy. That's why I'm starting with a 30-minute one about something different. But I am gonna make like a chunk up, like a, you know, like a 15-minute. Just, hey, here's some points from the video. If you don't want to give the 2 hour shot, give this one. So I'll keep that in mind with what I'm doing for something with that with a stream. If you're so graciously, thank you.
All right, well, shout out. You know, you could plug in any
I'll
plug.
attach the video when I upload it in the comments section below. And if you haven't liked and subscribed on Blump's channel, please do that right now.
Well, you should probably do your channel. I mean, you could do the video. You could attach the video in the comments. You could do either one. I don't care. I would say channel, and I'll just tell people to.
The channel is just Am Jin Rakai. It's just my name, or not. That's not my last name, but Am Jin Rakai. It's the same on the on Instagram and on the YouTube.
Yeah, Jin Rakai. That's JINRAKI or AI.
Yes,
JINRAKI.
Dragon Ball Z a little bit, like Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah, so it's Adam JINRAKI or KAI. So
Yes.
if you want to put that if you want to put that in the comments, I'll pin it in the comments. You could I don't care if you want to put the link to your video or if you want to put a link to your channel. Either one, I will pin it in the comments to let people do it.
Oh,
So y'all make sure
thank
y'all
you.
go follow them on you said Instagram.
The Instagram is just all one word, Adam Jin Rakai, and then same on Twitter, and then same on YouTube. YouTube
right.
there's a space, but I mean it should probably still come up.
All right, yeah. So yeah, just yeah, definitely put that in the comments and I'll pin you in there. So
Cool, man. Thank you for having me on and all that stuff, and sorry for, you know, my mouth never stopped.
It's all good. It's just you gotta learn to breathe, man. Learn to breathe, man.
I hear you. I hear you.
Stop.
I've been trying for 30 years now.
Take a second, listen. You know, they give us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen twice as you talk. That's the old saying. So you know, just make.
See, I never had any. I never had any grandparents. I wasn't an orphan, but I just never had any grandparents. So I never learned those valuable lessons until One Piece. So I'm ill mannered.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on it. I apologize.
Well, you know, I thought it was a good opportunity to get you on the stream in a solo convo. You know.
Yeah, thank you, man. I
mean, I already knew it was gonna get intense because you know, anytime you involved, things get intense. That's just how it is. And I'm not in a bad way necessarily. I mean, but I'm just saying. But anyway,
I'm always embarrassed to go on these things. It's just like I have just all I really feel like I'm doing is just asking questions and just those very questions. Like we couldn't get past the question of what exactly the Pirate King is, and that's what drives me insane because everyone thinks these things are all figured out, and it's like I don't know. You know, I just all I'm asking is I don't know.
And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. But
I agree, but
it's just
I think a lot of people act like we already know.
but yeah, you know, we working with you though, man. We working on you, man. You a project, man. We working on you. We're trying to get you
I promise
to
it's much
be
better in the videos. I edit
more.
myself.
I'm working to get you more patient. You know, more take your time. You know, you you
I'm grateful.
ask,
Thank you.
you say something, you listen, you taking everything what they say, and then you like, yeah, I don't agree with that part, but I at least heard it. I heard everything and took it in first. You know,
I did hear everything you say. I do promise that. I just talk fast,
but
but I do try to listen and hear everything you say. So
slow
if
down,
it came across like that, I promise you that was not my intent, and I
slow down,
really did hear everything you said.
slow down. All right, that's all I'm saying. Just slow down. You know, you
Well, I
look,
talk.
look. If you when you slow down, like I'm just kind of giving the lesson. It's gonna be a life lesson for everybody and all that. You just slow down, right? Like when you slow down, people pick up what you say. They get your point a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? You're
Good point.
you could pick up what they're saying, so you could have a well thought out. You know, and you know you you make great points. You know what I'm saying? And you have well thought out things, but you know you also gotta be able to take in information, so and then think about it before you just blurt out. You know, like every time you talk, you know, I mean, I'm there's sometimes where I could be a little more patient too. I get that too, you know, always, but it's just like, you know, sometimes I gotta be like, sometimes I gotta tell myself. Like I have problems with that too, man. I'm kind of like you. Sometimes I gotta be like, you know what? Stop, let them finish, and then say something. But yeah, we working on you though. We working on you. But yeah. Anyway, y'all. But yeah. So I appreciate having you on though, Adam. You know, I really do appreciate having you on. I think this was a great stream. Honestly, all the drama we do is great for content.
We almost do something where we just pretend to hate each other, and if we approach it like
Yeah.
that, I think it might be even funner.
Yeah, maybe we could create a artificial rivalry or something. I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe we could do where we like curse out each other and just insult each other, but
hey,
secretly
I mean,
we
I'm not
still be.
talking shit about evil, but I mean, it does seem to work with some of the follows and stuff about being a little bit dramatic, flair for the dramatic.
Yeah, but yeah, but we about to wrap this up. We got Adam. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Angels Room,
Thank you, man, the channel.
Pogi,
Thank you.
Pogi Biscuit, all those guys. Yeah. Tomorrow I won't be streaming here on YouTube. I'm gonna be doing my first stream for Twitch, guys. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. The link will be in the description. I don't know, man. I'm thinking of doing Elden Ring. I just gotta buy it. You know, I might get Elden Ring, and I might jump into the deep end finally, man. Because I know how Elden Ring is. I hear all the things, man. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't know if I'm ready for it. But yeah, that's gonna be tomorrow. Same time, 12 o'clock. We probably won't. I probably won't be doing my Twitch streams at noon. This might just be specifically for tomorrow because it's gonna be my first stream back on Twitch. So yeah, y'all follow me on Twitch. Same time
I gotta
we've
make a
been doing.
Twitch.
We will be streaming. We could talk about One Piece. We could talk about whatever you guys want. We could talk about life stuff. We could talk about it. Don't matter. It doesn't have to solely be about One Piece, but it can be as well. It's up to what y'all want to talk about. But anyway, y'all, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also, like the stream. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and my Twitch now. Also follow me on the Twitch. And also, if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the Discord and we have the Facebook group. All of these will be linked in the description. And as well as go follow Adam Jinrakai and go follow his channel. He should be putting it in the comments after the stream is done. And I will be pinning it to the top. So make sure y'all go support him. He supports the channel. He's a big supporter of the channel. So I would love for you guys to go support him. It would be good for me. You know, it would be good to me if you guys could go support him as well. Thank you, Adam. You know, I'll have you on some future streams. Don't worry, Don't worry. I'm not like, bro, you'll never ever be on the stream again because you disagree with me. No, we good. We're good. We're cool. Okay. I know we disagree. I know we kind of, the streams get intense, but we're good. But yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I disagree with everyone about One Piece, so it's not just you. It's nothing personal.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, y'all, appreciate you guys. It's Sean P, the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Y'all have a good